Good evening and welcome to Oologah, Oklahoma as Cardinal TV kicks off the football season. I'm Randall Dolan, as always, right next to my main man, Logan, as he brings the good color for us tonight. And Logan, it's football season again. I know school started for you. You've kind of gone through a little bit of that, a few weeks of that. But what does football season in Oklahoma, specifically Collinsville and Oologah right here along the Caney River, mean to these teams?
Well, school really doesn't officially start till football season starts.
That's right.
Everyone kind of walks around the school, just zombies until football season starts. Today, most hype school day, I guess you could say, this whole year.
Yeah, you've got student sections out here. I think they're doing the luau tonight. Luau thing. The stands are all packed. Clearly, there's a lot of anticipation. We've got Collinsville and Oologah and what they're calling the Caney River Rivalry. I don't know if you've heard that title yet or not, but the Caney River Rivalry, heard from a good source, is that's what splits Collinsville and Oologah. Now, we talk about them from last year. We talk about Collinsville, 5A4 champions, and they finished 8-3, 5-1 in district. Kind of came up a little bit short, but to the eventual state champions, last year. And Oologah had a season of their own last year, as they did really well in 4A3. They finished 8-6. They did have to forfeit 3 games last year. 5-2 in district, even after some of those forfeits. But they went all the way to the state championship and lost to Wagner in 4A. So we've set the stage of what these teams did last year. Right now, we throw all that out the window, right? What do you expect from these teams coming up? What kind of pressure do these teams have on them?
Well, both teams, new quarterbacks, both juniors, both offensive lines are new for both teams. So a lot of offensively, a lot of new faces, and everyone's kind of excited and anticipating that. Defensively, for Collinsville, we lost a couple, but we still have the majority of our players. Mark Tillman, Rock Robbins, Josh Arnold, Levi Draper. I mean, we've still got a good core on the defensive end.
So last year, Collinsville 36, Oologah 27. So a close game. They battled right up, kind of toward the end there. It was a nail biter, if you will. Collinsville coming out on top. And what you're saying right now is some of the keys to the game is going to be the offensive line play, young offensive lines on both sides. How do you kind of expect that to go out? And what are some of the coaches telling you the keys to the game are going to be tonight as they start off their football season?
Yeah, defensively, Coach Jones said pressure the quarterback. For Oologah, Casey Bass, number 8. He's a junior coming in, first year starting. Last year they had Peyton Craig. He graduated. This year, a lot of expectations for him. And offensively, for the Cardinals, establish a running game. Blake Bird, the new starting running back for the Cardinals, following Ryan Haymaker. He got minutes last year, but this year he's going to be the sole running back, getting all the carries, and everyone's excited to see what he does tonight.
And we mentioned the quarterback and the running back from both teams. We're about to go to the national anthem. We'll take a break. And again, if you're in this environment right now, there's a little bit of chills as we know football season has began and the national anthem meaning so much to us, especially with different things going on right now in the country. But getting back to what matters as far as this game goes, we've got exciting things coming up. We talked a little bit about what they're going to have to do. We need to talk real quickly about Collinsville and how they usually come out of the season. Specifically, Collinsville, they played Oologah, as we mentioned last year. What has Collinsville generally done in the past as far as their game opener? Are they usually ready, usually a little slow? What do you expect from them?
Well, usually there's a slow start, but that's usually the case for both teams. But tonight I see Collinsville coming out here and right from the get-go, defense hooking up. Got a lot of expectations from this Collinsville team this year. Picked number 5th in 5A by a site, and a lot of them. There's
Max Brett, yeah.
a lot of talk about state title game, state champions. A lot of expectations that they have to live up to.
And having said that, we know that they come out and they have won the last 7 straight season openers. So is the pressure riding more on Collinsville with all the hype and with all the fact that they're a 5A school playing a 4A school, or is this just a, hey, let's get out there and let's smash mouth and let's have a good time tonight? You think the pressure is going to be a factor?
I don't think this Collinsville team really has pressure. They're more in business mode. During school, they've just been really mellow, just kind of taking care of business. I see them just. They're not really. Last year, the team was really hype. You knew like who they were. This year, they're a lot different.
And we talked some about the players that we expect to have a big match. Specifically, let's do the players of the game, like some of the keys that you expect to watch and some of the players and how they're going to affect this match.
Well, offensively for the Cardinals, Blake Bird, he hits the holes hard. You're going to hear his name a lot tonight. I expect him to get into the end zone a couple of times. Defensively for the Cardinals, Levi Draper. He's verbally committed to OSU. Got a lot of hype this summer, and last year he was one of our best defensive players, if not the best. And this year I hope to see him carry that over. And then for Oologah, for offense, number 5, Braden Despain. He's a wide receiver for them. He's a big dude, and Collinsville has the task tonight on the defensive end to slow him down and contain him. And then defensively, number 40, Jimmy McKinney. He's a linebacker for Oologah. He's committed to K-State, so some D1 athletes on this field tonight, and it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, we see a lot of chanting right now going on from both sides as we go to the coin flip right now. The captains for the Collinsville Cardinals, number 2, Brandon Lowe. Number 24, Marcus Tillman. Number 43, Josh Arnold. And number 44, Rock Robbins. And it looks like the captains are out for the coin toss. The officials talking to them a little bit about what they want to do. Let's see what's actually happening. It looks like Oologah won the toss. Collinsville won the toss. They've elected to defer. Oologah will elect to receive. So as you're viewing right now, Collinsville is going to go from your left to right, and they're going to be starting off on defense. The 4 captains for the Oologah Mustangs are number 3, Logan Armstrong. Number 5, Brendan Despain, as you mentioned, a player to watch tonight. Number 40, Jimmy McKinney, the other player you mentioned to watch tonight off Oologah. And number 52, Bryce Dietz, coming out tonight. The coaches for Collinsville, as always, Coach Kevin Jones. He's going to be calling the plays tonight, and he runs the quarterback, so expect some pretty sharp play out of the offense. As you mentioned, they may be some of the younger ones, so the coach taking the brunt there. And Coach Brandon Craig for the Oologah Mustangs. And here come your Collinsville Cardinals. Listen to that crowd.
And just an interesting fact for the Collinsville coaches, one of the coaches, Tyler Chronister, the defensive back coach, he is from Oologah, was the head coach for the basketball program last year at Oologah, and he is back over on the Collinsville sideline where he graduated.
And as both teams take to the field, you see some excitement. All the fans are up on their feet on both sides. It looks like if this game is played a lot like last year, there may not be a lot of sitting, and we've only got a minute and a half left till we get this thing going. Yeah, so we've got Collinsville again. They're going to be in white tonight as they're the visiting squad. White with the red cardinal on the outside. Oologah is going to be in blue, and they're going to have the gold helmets, the Oologah Mustangs out here. Tell me what does this game mean to set the tone for your entire season? We talked some about expectations, but we didn't talk about the effect that this game could have as you move forward throughout your season. Obviously, it's not a district game. Obviously, it doesn't count toward whether you make the playoffs or not. What does this mean for both teams? Why do we play these games?
It's a rivalry game, but it's a good tune-up game. We got this game, then Catoosa and Sky took 3 games before we start district play that are all non-district, that you can kind of tune up your game before we hit those district games, and then they actually count. So this is more of a bragging rights game, but also a game that coaches can kind of get the feel of like what personnel go good with them.
Awesome, and here you go, folks. We're about to get this started. The officials couldn't wait for the last minute to tick off. They said, Let's get this going. So the Collinsville Cardinals set to kick off. Your kicker tonight, Cole Hadley for the Collinsville Cardinals. And back to receive number 3, we mentioned him for Oologah, Logan Armstrong as the captain tonight. Collinsville set to line up. And we haven't got the official whistle yet. Oh, we have. And Cole Hadley will kick off this season. Short kick. It's going to go into Despain. Despain to return. Cuts through a few players, finds some open field. He's running right to left, and it looks like it's going to come down to the kicker. Can he run him down? A big return to start off, and finally taken down by Chandler Cole, who ran all the way across the field. And it looks like the Cardinals are going to start off with a big task in front of him as Oologah starts off with a short field and a good return by Brendan Despain. You mentioned him being one of the potential players of the game, and he shows it right there.
He just cut it across center field and took off. Really, kind of, I don't know if there was a missed assignment or what, but he had all the room he wanted.
Yeah, sometimes if players will overrun a play, you know, on kickoff especially, there's a big gap. You don't make it back in time.
Whenever the kicker has to try and make a play on it, you know you're in trouble.
Oologah starting from the 15-yard line. It looks like they're in a pro set. They've got a little wing back here on the far left side as Base takes a snap from the shotgun. Quick pass out, quick out route to number 3. And he's tackled quickly by number 6, but not before a gain of 5 yards. So good. That's, not Tyler. Logan Armstrong again, we mentioned on the reception, and he's taken down hard by Chandler Cole, who now has 2 tackles in the game in the first 2 plays.
Starting on this defense tonight, number 1, Tyler Forrest. Number 2, Brandon Lowe. Number 6, Chandler Cole. Number 10, Levi Draper. Number 11, Brett Erickson. Number 24, Marcus Tillman. 25, Schaefer Smith. Number 43, Josh Arnold.
Base with nobody out there. Nobody's out there covering number 2, Keenan Ferrier. And Base just snaps it and throws it. But there's a flag on the play. It looks like number 40, the running back in the backfield, moved, Jimmy McKinney. So you won't often see that. A little gift as somebody's completely unblocked out there by the Cardinals. A little defensive lapse, but an offensive lapse. And that leads to first and goal from the 6. Oh, they're backing it up right now. It's going to be first and goal from the 10 for Oologah. So a good lucky break there by the Cardinals as somebody just didn't even notice he was standing all the way out there as he doesn't go into the huddle. So that's something the Cardinals are going to have to watch early tonight.
And you see Chandler Cole matched up onto Spain right here.
Quick flag in there by the back judge. Looks like, let's see what the call is. Looks like it's illegal substitution on the defense, I believe, is what he called. So as the Cardinals get it, the Cardinals give it back.
We have 12 players on the field, it looks like.
Oh, they're just substituting him out. I didn't see the call from the official. Let's see if we can, well, he never stepped out in the open. We're a little bit low tonight, so we'll do the best we can to cite it. 12 men on the field there by the Cardinals. The back judge usually there to call that one. And so now it's first and goal from the 5 with 10 minutes left to go. Base from the shotgun. See that wing there shifting from right to left. Quick Base keeps it, tries to throw it. He's about to get tackled, throws it at the feet of number 27. That's their wing back, Trent Harris. And he's not able to corral it in. Base just had to get rid of that, didn't he?
Yeah, Krupinski got back there and got pressure on him, and that's one of the keys to the game. See, they're getting back into the backfield and forcing pressure.
So now it's second down and 5. So we had back-to-back penalties, folks, and that just reset it as first down and then first down again. So if you're confused as to why this is the 4th play, but it's still second down, that's why. Again, the wing tee, number 27, sets up McKinney in the backfield, shotgun for Base. Base takes the shotgun, throws the fade route to the top corner, and it's a tough catch. Let's see if they rule him in or out. It looks like they're going to call him out of bounds. So it's a way to go up there and get it by Keenan Furrier, and that's Lowe there. Brandon Lowe, defensively for the Cardinals, really just getting in his face and making it a really tough throw and catch.
Yeah, it looked like he overthrew him a bit, but that is a tough throw to make.
You see Lowe's a little bit shorter out there, but so is farrier out there for Oologah. So you have a jump ball up there, and you just let somebody grab it. Base from the shotgun on 3rd and goal now. Trying to draw him off sides. McKinney with the run. He powers in, and it looks like he's going to be down just short, about the 1 yard line, it looks like. And we're into 4th down. Let's see what Oologah tries to do early.
Looks like they're bringing some different personnel in, taking Despain out. So I wonder if they're like in a power formation.
Looks like a power formation. They're bringing in the sophomore tight end, Joe Lovelace.
Yeah, they're in tight.
And base. They're going to be in a pro with they have a fullback behind the center and a fullback offset. Run into McKinney. McKinney stumbles, bumbles, and he's still pumping, and he just can't quite make it. So the Collinsville defense stands him up early. Getting there first is number 24, Marcus Tillman, with a big hit coming from the linebacker position on McKinney as he tried to spin out to keep him on that 1-inch yard line.
That's a huge play there. Get some momentum going back in the Collinsville way after a big kickoff return by Despain. Get a goal line stop. That's huge.
Yeah, and the Oologah coach Craig tries to go for it, brings his big package in. The Cardinals really didn't substitute anybody. They just said, hey, buckle down, nose first, and let's hit it. Now the Cardinals, though, they do face a tough battle as they're going to have to go 98 yards. It looks like they're spotting them on the 2-yard line. So they're going to have to go 98 yards here. The length of the field is Seth Boomer as he takes the field as the quarterback for the Cardinals.
And his first start for the Collinsville Cardinals, he's got to have butterflies in his stomach right now, especially being backed up against his own goal line.
And you mentioned new players on both sides and just trying to get things set up, and that forces Coach Jones to have to take a timeout early as the offense set out there a little bit late after that big shift. He wanted to make sure he had everybody he needed. And we talk right now about the O-line. Talk about how big they're going to have to be here, backed up on their own 2-yard line as they try and push. And what you imagine, they have to push 98 yards.
Yeah, they got to make sure they get off the ball quick, especially against their zone. They can't be getting pushed back. That's when you find trouble backed up. I feel bad for Seth. His first varsity start, and he has to start from the 2-yard line.
Well, Logan, that's why you play quarterback. Yeah. That's why the quarterback's are the heralded position. It looks like Coach Jones had him set up in the shotgun even, which a lot of times you'll see him go under center there right up to the front, but apparently Boomer's a little bit more comfortable with the shotgun, so it's going to be Boomer in the shotgun with Hurd set out to the left of him, in the running back slot. Hurd will get the call, and he bounces out, and he's driving. Big push by the offensive line there, and the Cardinals all of a sudden find some breathing room and a big run by Hurd. Bird. Why did Hurd? Sorry. It's the first game of the season for us, too, folks. I apologize for that. I apologize to Blake Bird. I had that written down 8 times in my thing. I don't know why I stuck with Hurd. So now facing a 2nd and 2 on their own 9-yard line. The Cardinals set up with 2 out to the right of Boomer. And he's handing it off to Bird again. Bird finding room on the outside again. That same outside hole for the Cardinals. And Bird with a big carry. It looks like he's going to pick up 15 yards on the play. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from the 25.
And if you see here, Levi Draper in on the offensive side of the ball. We never saw that last year. And that's something Collinsville's done this year is they had to change the offense to revolve around Seth Boomer.
Yeah, Levi Draper, the tight end, off the line right now. He's set up to the right. Motion out of the backfield from the wide receiver. And it's going to be a power run right off the right side guard. And he's stopped this time. It's probably the less gain for Bird that he's had all night. He's got the call every play so far for the Cardinals. And that's going to set up a 2nd and long. Cardinals happy in their shotgun right now, and they're finding a lot of good work off the right side. The left side of their offensive line as they work against Oologah. What are you seeing there? What do you think is happening? And how's Coach can exploit that coming forward?
Well, he's going to try and right now you see he's establishing the run game, and it looks like a fumble.
Well, it's a good power run there by Bird, and his helmet even comes off. So I believe he's going to have to come out of play. I don't know if because they knocked it off if he has to come out or what the rules are in high school is. It looks like Bird will come off. another power run. He is trying to establish that that run play, and so far it's worked. So, but now they're facing about a 3rd down and 7. Is Seth Boomer and head coach Kevin Jones.
Yeah, with the run game, that'll force Oologah to start loading the box, and that's when you'll find Seth Boomer getting more comfortable and more time in the backfield.
Marcus Tillman in the backfield as Boomer takes the ball. Pumps, he's got a defender in his face, and Boomer will go down. A big sack there by number 18 for Oologah. That's Chance Dietz. And he busts through, and he really looks like made a real quick impact play there against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are going to have to punt. With that quick return from the kickoff team, what do you think Coach Jones is telling his punter right now?
Well, it doesn't look like Despain's back there. It looks like number 3.
That's Logan Armstrong. Yep.
So maybe not as much of a threat back there. We don't know yet.
And the punter, number 23, Austin Roberts, is calling his wings in to get a little extra protection on this kick here. Good snap. Good kick.
And Rock Robbins is down there.
And it looks like it's going to be down right at the 50, just the 49 of Oologah. So a little bit of relief from both sides of the field as some success for both Oologah and the kickoff return and Collinsville in their outside run. But it's still a 0-0 game with 6:45 left to go in this first quarter.
Well, one thing the offense did good, I guess you could take good out of that, is they kind of gave the defense a little bit of a break. That's something that I know some people are worried about, is if our offense can keep up and give our defense a break.
Base from the shotgun, steps back. He's going to throw a big ball down to Despain, and it's right on the money for Despain. And he's going to go in for a touchdown. So a big seam route there by Braden Despain, and that's going to go 51 yards for the touchdown here with 6:37 in this first quarter left to go.
He was wide open. Just
looked like the Cardinals were playing a little bit of zone there, and he just kind of made it right between the zone, and the Cardinals weren't quite able to catch up with that. And the kick is up and in and good. That's Ethan Clark with the kick for Oologah. So again, 6:37 left to go. Oologah strikes first. And what's been kind of a wild big play game for Oologah so far, they've had one big kickoff return that brought them down to the 5, and then they've had one good pass and run there for a touchdown. So really big play from Oologah right now. Sets the Cardinals back 7 points.
But that's not anything to fear. A little rusty start by the Cardinals. Like you said, 2 big plays. So it's not like they're just grinding and just taking them downfield.
What's defensive coordinator John Benham? What's he saying to his guys right now? Did you get even a chance to talk to him, as most of them come back on the field for kickoff return? But what do you think he's saying to his guys? Hey, that's just a bust. Let's move on from that, or are we scheming up to keep that from happening?
I think you got to be pretty frustrated with how wide open he looked. I don't know if that's someone just missed him or he just blew by our defender. That's something he's got to be looking at.
Yeah, like you said, it looked like it was almost a cover 3, that the free safety wasn't quite there and the corner wasn't quite there either.
And number 11, Brett Erickson, number 24, Mark Tillman, and number 25, Schaefer Smith, all back to return.
It's going to be a short kick there. Tillman receives it at the 20, returns up the middle. He's got some running room. And Tillman's just got the kicker to beat, and he doesn't quite make it. Excuse me, that's not the kicker. That's number 32, Dylan Dorn for Oologah, and they save a big play, but a big run back there by Tillman, and now it's at midfield for the Cardinals. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of big plays. So far the Cardinals have the only first down of the game. Well, excuse me, Oologah did have a first down early on in the game with a quick out route.
And it's not surprising that both teams have had big plays on special teams. Usually coaches really aren't worried about that. That's something that gets put in like the last week.
Boomer and Bird in the backfield for the Cardinals. Trips right. They're going to shift. That's Lowe shifting out to the left side, and a handoff to Bird. Bird right up the middle, wide open. Good blocking there by the Cardinal O-line. There didn't seem to be any linebackers there at all. Bird wasn't touched. till he hit the 25-yard line, 30-yard line, first down for the Cardinals.
So the run game, it looks like it's going to start opening up for Seth Boomer. Maybe see some passes come in here.
Well, you did mention Coach wanted to set up, and they've moved the tight end out on that last play, and it looks like it pulls somebody out of the box, and Oologah wasn't quite ready for it. Quick motion there. Pass out. Boomer's going to pass. He's going deep. That's for number 11. Just off the hands of Brett Erickson. He laid out for it. A good pass there by Boomer. Just off the hands of Erickson. And, you know, he's going to want that one back. A good pass, and it's just a tough catch right there for Erickson.
Yeah, but a good play call by the coaches.
But it does leave you in second and long. So what do you think you'll see from Coach Jones and Boomer here as we go into second and long from getting into Oologah territory from the 30-yard line?
Probably some short, either a run play or maybe a wide receiver screen, something short to kind of cut down on some yardage.
Running 4 wide again, a pro style here for the Cardinals. Shifting across, it's going to be a quick outrun to number 33. That's Hayden West getting his first carry of the game, and he's taken down hard by Oologah. It looked like that's up around the neck. The official's letting that one go, saying he got him in the shoulder pads. But you got to watch tackles like that, especially even at the high school level. They're really going to be vigilant about that this year, is what they said in some of the coaches' meetings. But it does bring up third down. That's a gain of 4 for West. And the Cardinals face third down and 6 from the 26-yard line of the Oologah Mustangs. Sticking with the 4 wide set. Bird in the backfield next to Boomer. That's West on the motion. Boomer takes a snap, hands off to Bird. Bird right up the middle, and it looks like he's going to be stopped in a short gain. So now Coach Jones with the decision to make, as he's probably not quite in kick range, as he's on the 25-yard line. It makes it 4th down and 5, and it looks like the Cardinals are going to go for it now too. No huddle right here as Boomer calls out the play to the wide receivers. And the Cardinal offensive line set up on 4th and 5. Cardinals looks like they're trying to draw him off sides, and number 13 of Collinsville, Sam West, that time with a little bit of a jerk there. So now it's going to be 4th down and 10, and I don't know if Coach Jones is planning here. He brought his quarterback to the sideline, and we'll see.
And the punter. The punter's on the sideline too, and they're going to switch. Brandon Lowe's going to come in for Asa Roberts, and Seth Boomer's coming in back into the game.
So Boomer, not normally the punter, so all intents and purposes, it looks like the Cardinals are going to go for it. Boomer and Bird in the backfield. Lowe back in the game. Lowe with the motion.
Quick punt.
Out to the left. It's going to be a quick kick from Boomer. Left-footed there. And that kick is going to be downed by Lowe, I believe, on the 15-yard line. So right at the 15-yard line, a real quick kick there for 15 yards, and the Cardinals switch the fields on Oologah and make Oologah go the length of the field now.
So the offense having some good plays, but just not being able to put a string together.
Yeah, some good runs. We've seen the same play work really well against Oologah, and the same play really go for 2 yards at a pop. So something's going on in there, and Coach noticed that at first when he brought the tight end out, so it cleared the box a little bit. We'll see if he plays that up moving forward. Blitz from the Cardinals. Big throw from base. That's off the mark and off as he tried to get number 2, Keenan Ferrier. And that's number 11, Brett Erickson, on the coverage for the Cardinals. Fullback coming out of the game, as well as McKinney for Oologah, as it looks like they're going to go into a little bit more of a pro set here with base and Hunter Gibson in the backfield. And they're going to go 4 wide. Base takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Ball's on the ground, but Gibson's able to pick that back up. A little miscommunication between Base and Gibson as it's a read option, and that's going to set the Oologah Mustangs back for 3rd down. Now they're going to have a 3rd down and 13, it looks like, as they're facing a potential catastrophe right there.
Yeah, that would have been a bad deal for a fumble right there. Collinsville being able to scoop it up. Luckily, they got back on it.
Looks like they're going back into the smaller package here. Oologah not looking like they're going to run fullbacks or anything. The same. Well, it looks like they're going no back set right now.
And you got Despain coming
Sets
back.
back. It's a screen to Despain, and he's wrapped up very well, fought through. That's number 10 for the Cardinals. Levi Draper fighting through that block, and he's able to take him down. You see one thing the officials didn't see. They broke the huddle with 12 men right there. You see from Oologah, Hunter Gibson running off the field late. The officials not calling anything there, as it's their first game as well, but noticing that Despain now is the punter as well. So he seems to do just about everything for this Oologah team. Collinsville working a return here. Picked up by Tyler Forrest. He cuts back, trying to cut back across the field. Good blocks. He's running about 25 yards to get, I'd say, about 6. So just across midfield, it's going to be 49 yards for the Cardinals to go on this drive. And a good defensive stop. What do you say about the defensive stop and how that helps the offense as we move forward?
Well, it gets the offense back on the field after putting a decent drive together, and they're starting to get the hang of things. The running game really has been there so far. You saw a drop pass, maybe a little bit underthrown. It looked like he had to dive back into it. But hopefully the offense is starting to get the hang of things.
As Boomer takes the field, he's going to have Bird, as well as they brought Rock Robbins into the game here. So we're going to have a little bit of, I think we're going to have a little bit of fullback action for the Cardinals, but we have a quick timeout. Let's see, I believe it's an official's timeout for water. Is that what they're saying? So early in the season, in order to monitor conditions a little bit, sometimes the officials will call a little bit of a water break. And we really haven't had a lot of stoppage so far in this. So it's 2:49 left to go in this first quarter. A lot of moving back and forth. Not a lot of long stops. Not a lot of long drives so far. What do you see so far in this first quarter? What's happening for the Cardinals and what's happening for Oologah to have them up 7-0?
Well, this can be Collinsville's third possession, and the first two possessions, the first they had the ball at their own 2-yard line, took a pretty good chunk of yards out, got them away from their back being up against their own goal line. But then the second drive, they got ahead on the 48-yard line, and they were able to put a couple plays together, but then never could put it together.
So the Collinsville Cardinals take the field again, and as I said, looks like we're having a fullback set here, a little pro set. Boomer under center for the first time tonight, and Bird gets the handoff, running off to the right. Good block there by Robbins, but we do have a penalty flag there in the section of holding generally, so we'll see what happened here. Going to talk to the official there. It's first down. Robbins signaling hold. Bunch of Collinsville players signaling hold. Not sure exactly who it was on, but some hold right there on the inside. Sometimes you see that going on early in the season as it's really your first live action play. So really hurts to start off your drive starting back 10 yards. It's going to be first down and 20 from Collinsville's 47, we'll call it 48. As they try, or sorry, 43, excuse me, as they try to move down the field. Again, it's our first night of the year, so bear with me a little bit as I try to get a little bit more familiar with the numbers and the sets.
And still Boomer under center.
Fullback pro set, looks like the same exact play. Bird cutting off a Robbins big block. So you have a combination block there by Robbins and Draper, and that's really clearing out some room for Bird there off the right side as they pick up, I'd say, 8 yards of that 10 back. Right at the 6 yards of that 10 back, right at the 48 or 49-yard line. It's going to set up 2nd and 13 for the Cardinals. And looks like they've kept their big package in with Bird in the background, Rock Robbins, as the fullback, and Draper as the tight end. Same play for the third time. Bird this time hit hard by number 18, who's really been all over the field, Chance Dietz, for the Mustangs, and that's going to bring up third down and 11 for the Cardinals as he only able to gain 2 yards on that play. Believe they're going to continue to stick Robbins in the backfield here, and Draper and Oologah's gone with a little bit bigger of a package as they brought Rush O'Connor in to play a little bit tighter off the edge for the Mustangs. And a rollout by Boomer. It's sniffed out. And Boomer's going to have to throw it short, well short of the first down, and trying to get everything he can is Robbins. So Alex Hinson there for the Mustangs, really sniffing that out quickly, and it makes things difficult for Boomer as a left-handed quarterback rolling out real hard to his left. Excuse me, he's right-handed. Right-handed quarterback, excuse me. Right-handed quarterback rolling real hard off to his left. He's got to reset his hips in order to throw that downfield. It makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, but he did a great job at extending the play and not just seeing trouble and throwing it away.
And as we're looking to change possession, we're under a minute now in this first quarter, as that's number 23, Austin Roberts, on to punt for the Cardinals. Logan Armstrong back to return for the Mustangs. Bobbled snap. Low snap, excuse me. Good punt there. So a fair catch by Logan Armstrong. A really good punt, especially at the high school level, by Austin Roberts. A big spiraling punt. Makes him fair catch the ball inside his 10-yard line. So Coach Craig of the Mustangs can't be too thrilled about that, as you generally tell your guys, stand on the 10-yard line, don't go backwards. But he fair caught it, and it looks like they're going to start a long field again on the 8. So after that one big play from Oologah, the Cardinals really keeping everything in the Mustangs' territory. What does that do for you as a team here, as long as you can prevent those big plays from happening?
Well, it gets you better yardage. You see the last couple of possessions they've had, they've been about center field. So the defense has been a really good job at setting up the offense.
Clayton Dunham in now in the backfield for the Mustangs. It's a sweep into number 3, Logan Armstrong.
Fumble.
And we have a fumble as Armstrong's in the air without
Mark
the
Tillman
ball.
has it.
Tillman does have it. We're going to see if it's dead.
Collinsville ball.
So it is a turnover as Armstrong tried to make a cut. He was hit hard. And Tillman comes up with, Marcus Tillman, yes. He comes up with the ball. And so the big break for the Cardinals with 8.6 seconds left in this first quarter. Ball on the 11 now for the Cardinals. And we talked about switching fields. That's definitely a switch of the field.
Yeah, that's huge for the Collinsville Cardinals. Get the ball with 10 plays at the 11-yard line. You can't ask for any better field position than that.
Especially with not a lot of offensive production here in this first quarter. That big plays, big turnovers like that, especially right there, it's a game changer right there. Cardinals still coming out, and they've got a new fullback here. That's number 27, Polo Patterson, tight end. And Robbins trying to block there for Bird. He's going to be stuffed pretty quick as we end this first quarter. 7-0. Let's see what's happening right now. The officials kind of breaking them up. All right, in the end of the first quarter, it's going to be 7-0. The Oologah Mustangs on top of the Collinsville Cardinals. We're about to go to a commercial break here, and we'll be back to recap what you saw in that first quarter and bring in the second quarter right after this. You're watching Cardinal TV.
Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu.
Welcome back to Oologah High School as the Oologah Mustangs are hosting the Collinsville Cardinals. One quick thing, you're watching Cardinal TV tonight, and if you'd like to have your own commercial on Cardinal TV, contact the school as they're currently selling the advertisements on this program. As we come out of the break, what do you see out of that first quarter right there that the Cardinals did well?
Well, other than one slip-up, the defense did a pretty good job. Offensively, moving the ball, but still haven't found that gap yet.
Cardinals with a one-back set right now, keeping the tight end in the game. Big shift by the wide receiver. It's a toss sweep out to Bird, but that's really read up well by Jimmy McKinney and he's out to the flats quick. And that's going to be a gain of 1, I believe. So that's going to make it 3rd down and 9 for the Cardinals as they're knocking on the door on the 10-yard line, or the 9-yard line, excuse me, of the Oologah Mustangs.
And we've yet to see maybe a quick slants route, or if maybe they're going to stick to the run game.
Austin Roberts checks back in the game. It looks like we're going to keep Levi Draper in as tight end. Draper splits out to the left. Boomer's going to go in shotgun with Bird right next to him. Twins out to the left outside of Draper, and a single out on the right side. Timeout by Oologah as Coach Craig wanted to talk it over with his defense. A big play big play right here in this game. What does this play mean for the Cardinals, and what does it mean for Oologah? What does it mean for this whole game?
Well, this could be a big momentum shifter. You saw it shift a little bit with the fumble recovery by Mark Tillman, but if they don't get a first down here and they don't score out of this, it's got to be frustrating for the defense because they've done their job. They've given up 7 points, but that was on one big play. Other than that, they've really held them and done a good job at getting the ball where Collinsville has good field position, and so it's got to be frustrating for the defense if they can't convert on this.
So coming out of the timeout, we want to let you know that they can still get a first down. So technically there is a little patch of green there on the goal line where they can get a first down without scoring. So in case that scenario happens, we'll see what's going on. If you're Coach Jones, what are you thinking right here? What are you expecting? You saying maybe the slant play with 8 yards to go, or are you going to try and stick with this run, see if you can't just cram it down their throats?
If it was me, I'd go with the quick slants, but it's not my call. But Coach Jones has to be happy with Oologah calling that timeout. He gets a little more time to think about this play.
Robbins checks back into the game. It looks like we're going to go in a pro set. Nope, 2-back set here for the Cardinals. And Coach Jones now is going to take a timeout as Boomer didn't quite communicate with Coach Jones, I believe, because Robbins expected to come down in a fullback set and be ready to go from a pro set, and Boomer's on a little bit different page. So now the timeout situation becomes a little bit different as we're moving into the 11 minutes left to go in this first half. The Oologah Mustangs with 2. The Cardinals have 1 left. They've already burned 2. What does that say for moving forward in this first half?
Well, they have to be a little more disciplined. They don't have that extra timeout to call if they need it. I mean, you'd always like to have those timeouts late in the quarter, so if you get a chance to score, you can stop the clock. But I mean, it's got to be really frustrating for Coach Jones right out of a timeout to have to call another timeout.
What do you see as far as first game of the season? Do you think that's part of the reason why they're calling that timeout? Is the lineup first game of the season kind of just adjusting a few things here and there? Is that's the first time we've seen 2 backs in this season?
Yeah, they've really never had this pressure of having to get the play in. Scrimmages, they can just stop it. But now with this pressure and actually something on it, it's a lot different.
It looks like we're going to go in a power set here. Boomer handing off to Bird off the right side. He's pushing, kicking his feet, driving. He's going to come down, I believe, just short. He's going to be 1 yard short. A good drive there by Bird, a good push by the offensive line, but that's going to bring up 4th down and 1. And if you're Coach Jones, you got a decision to make right now. I believe it looks like he's not even blinking.
No.
He's sitting in Hayden West with the play, so Hayden West getting some more good plays for him as a sophomore coming in, splitting out wide. And we're going to stay in the power back situation. We're going to put it all on the offensive line, and there's about 50 guys in the box, it looks like, on 4th down and 1. Toss sweep out to Bird. Bird is originally met, and that's going to be a touchdown by Bird. So Hunter Gibson read it really well, came out to find Bird. Bird with a quick cut, and the Cardinals are in for the equalizer.
And that's a huge momentum shift coming in. Finally, the defense gets the offense to capitalize on the turnover. That's got to feel good for both sides of the ball.
And we'll see if Cole Hadley can match this game up at 7 points with 10 minutes left to go in this first half. Kick is up and in and good. It's now 7-7 with 10:23 left to go in this first half. The Cardinals answer back, and so far you've seen the Cardinals with some pretty good plays there. But what do you see from the coach, what message is the coach sending his players going for it, 4th down on the 2-yard line?
Well, you see him, he's just going to pound it with the run game, and that's going to wear down the Oologah defense, and we're going to really find out if they have depth on that side of the ball. With running, it gets the defense. They have to work harder. We'll see what happens when it comes 3rd and 4th quarter.
So a lot of time of possession as far as Collinsville is concerned. So far, we haven't seen Oologah really possess for a long time, apart from that one big play. And they had, they've had 2 big plays so far, and that's really been the story of their game so far. Apart from that, their defense has really been on the field the majority of the time. You think that's going to affect them moving on?
I don't know. Like I said, it's all on depth. If the team has enough depth, then they can go longer quarters.
What do you say right now if you're the special teams coach? If you're looking at this as being one of the times where they almost let up a touchdown, what are you telling your kickoff team?
Well, you got to make sure you stay close to your assignment. And if you see here, cameraman right on Levi Draper, you have to – he's just feeling the pressure this year. Everyone has so much high expectations for him.
Hadley sets back to take the kick here. You expect him to kick it deep? You expect to kick it out of bounds? You expect to pooch kick it? What are you expecting here?
We'll see if they go with the little pooch kick.
Anywhere but at Despain, right?
Yes, yeah.
Hadley sets up with a low kick this time, and that's fielded by Hunter Gibson. Gibson finds some open room, but it looks like he's going to be cornered down. That's number 3, Tyler Fanning, taking him down. So a big cut there, but at least this one doesn't go down to the 10-yard line. It's at the 40, so we'll see if the defense can still hold for the Cardinals.
So yet to figure out the special teams.
Yeah, so far right off that, it's the same side both times. The first time he went left but then cut it all the way back right and was able to find some grass. This time he just stayed straight right, and he was able to pick up some momentum there. Big package in for Oologah Mustangs as Base sets up in the shotgun. Had a little stoppage of play right here. He'd have to be lined up in the neutral zone in order for that to stop the play. It's kind of weird for that to stop the play right there, but you see, again, just hate to attribute so many mental mistakes there to be in the first part of the game, but you really can't afford to give up 5 yards right now, right after a big play to the Oologah Mustangs, as you've got all the momentum going on.
Yeah, that just gives them shorter to get a first down and extends this drive a little bit. We'll see if the defense can get a stop here.
Base out of the shotgun. And there's a movement by both sides. I believe we're going to have 79 on Oologah moved forward, and I think that drew the Cardinals off, and I believe it did. So we've got a false start now by Cameron Wood of the Mustangs as they were trying to do a hard count there was Base, and Wood was faked out a little bit.
So that evens it back up, 10 yards.
So now we're back to 1st and 10. It's reminiscent of the first part of the game where we had 4 first down plays. Now we're back to 2, and they're marching back and forth. High snap, quick slant in as they find the hole in the blitz. The Mustangs do in that quick slant. That's number 3, Logan Armstrong, who's seen a lot of time today. Well, a good throw and catch there by Base. And a first down by Oologah, just their 2nd of the game. So you see that it looks like the coaches from Oologah's side kind of read that the Cardinals have been sending a lot of different blitzes. They find a little hole before the free safety can get down for the Cardinals, and that's why he looked so wide open.
And Base really hasn't had time. That Collinsville's been getting pressure on him, so that's why you see a little quick slant.
Another blitz by the Cardinals. It looks like holding, potential for an interception. I thought the free safety was right there, but Base overthrows as number 43 was in his face. That's Josh Arnold.
And I think he got held there. He got pulled down by inside the front of his shoulder pads.
Looked like a pretty good tackle there by the offensive line of the Mustangs.
Tell Coach to get him on the defensive side of the ball.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 26 of the Collinsville Cardinals. Again, the Oologah Mustangs in the blue with the gold helmets, moving from left to right as you're watching. Base in the shotgun. Steps back, throws a quick out route to Armstrong. Armstrong finding all sorts of room as there was a good block out there by Despain. Braden Despain really doing a lot without touching the ball right now. Great block outside on the corner who wasn't able to shed it, and that gives a 1st down here for Oologah. So some quick passes here from Oologah gives Base a little bit of confidence, and Oologah's marching. They're knocking on the door now on the 14-yard line of the Cardinals. Sticking to their spread right now. Base takes the snap. Again, a good quick throw and catch. And that should have been picked off by Brett Erickson. He read that slant perfect, stepped right in there. And he's going to have to get him some new gloves after tonight because I think he was looking at the end zone when that ball just hit his fingertips. But a great jump there. You know, we used to call that back when I played in college. That was a batted ball. That's a pass breakup. He's trying to pad his stats. That's what we used to call that. But again, the good read, good vision right there by Erickson. A good play. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. 4 wide for the Mustangs as Base takes the snap, turns, throws, another quick out route. And that's just off the money for James Lay. And now it's all of a sudden 3rd down and 10. And I thought they were bringing the big package in, but it looks like Coach called them back for the Mustangs. So sticking with the 4 wide is Oologah as it worked these quick passes, quick reads. Almost disastrous in that interception. But they're going to come out with no backs, 5 wides is Oologah. And Base, the lone man in the backfield, takes the snap, turns. He throws a quick slant route, and it's just right there. Again, almost intercepted by Draper. Draper there to put a hand on it, and I don't think it would have made it through anyway. So a good stand here by the Collinsville Cardinals. And the Oologah Mustangs bringing in their kicker. I believe that's not Tyler Forrest. That's Ethan Clark. Reading off the wrong sheet, right?
So you see Oologah getting comfortable with that passing game, and they 3 straight passes, and it didn't pay off for him.
So big kick here. Kick is up. That's going to be short. Well short is the kick. I believe the hold was down. It was a rough snap, and Armstrong couldn't quite corral it and put it down on the mat. So Clark didn't have a good boot on it. So just like that, another big momentum shift and good defensive stand by the Cardinals. Been not break defense there. And that leaves us all tied up with 9.5 minutes left to go in this first half.
So it would be huge if Collinsville could march down the field, take about 6-7 minutes off the clock, and get in for the touchdown. Wear down that Oologah defense going into halftime.
Well, with their running game, if they're able to pick up a few first downs here, that time's going to be on their side. It's like Collinsville's going to come out, and they're going to come out straight onto the field. We've got a little wing back here. A tight end now. They're going to let Draper take a little bit of a seat, and Patterson's going to pick up the tight end responsibilities as Boomer's under center. Big shift, big handoff to Bird. Bird shakes one tackler, but he can't shake the big pile coming from the inside. That's big man number 75 for Oologah. That's Stephen Long, and he was just gobbling up Bird as he tried to cut back in, a gain of 2. Draper back in the game now for the Cardinals. And Erickson checks back in the game at wide receiver. Boomer back in, we're running 2 tights right now for the Cardinals. Draper on one side, Patterson on the other. Boomer from the shotgun, hands off to Bird. Bird cutting everywhere he can. Good tackle there by number 31. That's Rush O'Connor. That's number 18. That's Chance Dietz. Dietz really coming up with some good tackles, but not before Bird was able to pick up 6 more yards. 3rd down and 2 for the Cardinals.
And this is a huge play. 2 yards. We'll see if the Oologah defense can take a stand.
Checking into the game now for the Cardinals, number 33, Hayden West. And the Cardinals sticking to their 2 tight end set, but Boomer this time going under center. And it's 3rd down and 2 from their 28. Another handoff to Bird. Bird is hit in the backfield. That's Rush O'Connor this time, who's coming off unblocked. They've kind of read that they're not blocking the end man on the line of scrimmage there. And he's going to go for a 2-yard loss. That's going to make it 4th down and 4. Coach Jones is going to pull on the punt team.
So now the defense, after making a good stand, has to come back on the field with a little break.
I think there's some issues right now with the Cardinals getting all their men on the field. 10 seconds left to go on the play clock. And I believe the Cardinals are going to be able to get this going. Last time it was a good kick. Bad snap there. Not able to be fielded. That's by number 23, Austin Roberts. A bobbled snap, and that's picked up by Dietz. So Dietz, who's been all over the field tonight defensively for the Mustangs, now comes up big. And what you'd call a turnover, I guess. Not really a turnover, just a bobbled snap. And it's going to be a short field now. The ball on the 19 for Oologah, excuse me. 7:26 left to go in this first half. 7-7. The Mustangs tied up with your Collinsville Cardinals. Base comes back out. And the Mustangs sticking with their 4-wide package. Base side by side with Gibson. Gibson looking to find some running room. He's stuffed immediately. And a really good tackle there by number 74, the Cardinals. That's Joey Krapinski. They're getting in the backfield and really taking down Gibson before he could get any momentum going. Loss of 1 there on the play for Gibson. Sticking to the 4 wide set, trips left for Base. Single out to the right, Gibson off to his left. Base steps back, looking to the right. It's going to be a stop and go. And Erickson with some really good coverage there on Keenan Ferrier. So Ferrier and Erickson seem to be battling both sides of the ball, back and forth, whether one's on defense, one's on offense. Both of them have been just toe-to-toe the entire night.
So it's going to be 3rd and 11, and this would be another big stop.
Interesting, Ferrier ran off the back of the field now. So he's going to have to make it to his own sideline before this play happens. I don't know if he knows that or the officials know that, but fairly certain that's not really a legal move, but it's all right. First game of the season, we're going to see what happens. Little pistol formation out of the shotgun here for Base. Gibson behind him. Quick pass out to Base. Good catch there by Gibson. He's able to corral it, but a great tackle on the outside. And I believe that's number 8 for the Cardinals, Ryan Lacrone. They're a really good tackle as he shed off the blocker and was able to push out and keep him from making too many yards. And that's going to bring up 4th down. And Coach Craig's going to have to try another kick. So the Cardinal D standing up again deep in their own territory. And they've just been relentless except for one play so far. Good snap, good hold. This time it's up. And good. So with that Ethan Clark kick, the Mustangs take a 10-7 lead over the Cardinals with 6:04 left to go here in this first half, excuse me. So good defensive stand. I mean, 3 points, you're just going to have to take it, I guess, at that point, because you gave them 19 yards. He only gave up 4 in the entire offensive. As a defensive unit, you give up 4 yards, they kick a field goal. As a coach, you got to be a little happy with that, right?
Yeah, you really set them up for success there, but to only escape with giving up 3 points, that's doing a pretty good job. Collinsville, the offense will get a chance to come back on the field and march down the field and take advantage of 6 minutes, see if they can score and get the momentum going into halftime.
And we've seen so far kickoffs for both teams have been kind of torturous as all the fans seem to cringe as both returning teams really just kind of having their way with kickoffs so far. What do you expect from the kickoff here by Ethan Clark, who just booted a really big kick for those 3 points for the Mustangs?
Well, we'll see if they pooch kick it deep. Last time they kicked it deep to Marcus Tillman, and he was able to return that.
So Clark with the kick. He's going to kick it deep, and it's going to go all the way back to Erickson. Erickson on his own 5 takes it out, and he's met by a host of players. It looked like there's supposed to be a middle return, and they didn't block 3 people on either outside. So most of Oologah was blitzing from the outside there, coming in hot. And so Erickson's bottled up, and he was only able to make it out to his own 17-yard line, I believe is what they're giving him. It's going to be first down and 10 from the 17. The Cardinals looking to answer that three-point kick there. Tell me how big plays are so far affecting the scoreboard right now.
Well, Oologah with a 49-yard touchdown by Despain, and then a fumble recovery, and they were able to get a field goal off that. Like we said earlier, lucky that they only gave up a field goal. But for Collinsville, they've had a couple opportunities, just haven't been able to capitalize on them.
And it looks like another quick mistake there, delay a game by the Cardinals as they're a little late to get out to the field and their motion didn't get set up, so that they're going to be backed up another 5 yards, starting from their own 12 this time. And for Coach Jones, you got to mention big plays and you got to mention penalties at the half, don't you?
Yeah, he's got a lot to talk about going into halftime. He probably wishes he had more time because there's a lot of stuff to cover.
Boomer in the backfield with Bird beside him. Quick out there by Lowe. Supposed to be going to Lowe, and Lowe gets turned around as the pass was a little bit behind him. He had a lot of running room if that's completed there, and he's not able to rake it in. That stops the clock now for the Cardinals at 5:57, and they're going to be stuck with second down and 15. Cardinals come out in 4 wide set. Bird to the left of Boomer. And it's going to be handoff to Bird. Bird breaks the first tackle, and he's got some room to run. He keeps running. Good blocking downfield, and he's running behind number 13, Sam West. So Bird shakes one tackler, and he carries the other with some good blocking there by West on the edge. And Bird's able to pick up, I believe, 25 yards on that run.
So the run game's still working for the Cardinals. Oologah yet to figure out how to slow that down and force the pass. But Blake Bird doing a great job at getting around the outside and running hard.
It seems like they're leaving one guy unblocked completely, and so Bird's just having to juke one guy at the line of scrimmage and then move on from there. Lowe with the motion out of the backfield. Another handoff to Bird. He has to cut back inside because a good run in there by Dietz, who's been all over the field today. And he's not able to wrap him up, and a good run there by Bird as he cut it inside for a gain of 4. Second down coming up. And 6 for the Cardinals. As we get to with 5 minutes left to go at the end of this first half, what is your conditioning telling the players right now? As a lot of these players are going both ways and not getting a lot of stopping time for the first time this season.
Well, they only have 5 minutes till they get a 25-minute break, so they just need to dig in.
Cardinals with 4 wide. Boomer out to pass. Boomer has to release it. Gets it into West. West is rolled up. That's Austin Roberts. Austin Roberts is hit immediately, and I believe that's just a short gain of 2 there for the Cardinals. It's going to bring up third down and 5. So the Cardinals looking to answer right now the 3-point kick there by the Mustangs. Down 3. It's 10-7. And Boomer marches on with 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes left to go in this first half. Bird beside him, third down and 4 is what they're calling it here. Still going a 4 wide set are the Cardinals. Boomer in the shotgun. And it looks like we got a hard count there as they went on 2, but Oologah went just a bit too soon.
Yeah, that was number 44 for Oologah. Clayton Downham.
Downham was smelling blood as their pass rush has been really kind of up and down so far tonight, as they've left kind of the outside guy on the line of scrimmage unblocked in their run play. And I think right now, as far as Dunham's concerned, a lot of those runs, if they're able to get upfield and hit Bird before he's able to get the ball, secure it, and make a good juke. That's where their tackles for loss have been coming. Four wide set again for the Cardinals. Trips left. Boomer backed by Bird. Boomer's going to set back to pass. Boomer passes out well over the head of Lowe. Lowe tried to get it, didn't know where the out of bounds is going to be, so that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals. Lowe's listed as we talked earlier, listed as 5'8", 180 pounds. They may be a little bit hometown measurement there. He may be a little bit shorter than that, but still, I think a 12-footer probably couldn't have caught that one. And it's hard right there on the sidelines to know when you're about to step out of bounds. So tough play there for the Cardinals. They set up 4 wide here for 2nd and 10. Hand off to Bird. Bird is ridden down there after a gain of, I believe that's 3 yards. And that's a good tackle there again by number 10, Gunter Pearson, for the Mustangs. We're going to set up a 3rd down and 8 right now for the Cardinals as they're looking to answer, and they're really doing a good job, as you mentioned, taking time off the clock, as there's only 3 minutes left to go, and this drive's taken at least 3 minutes. So it's taken half what we have left in the first half. But the Cardinals now faced with a 3rd down and 8, really wanting to pick up some good chunks of yardage. Boomer back to pass. Out route, and that's going to be intercepted by number 3, Logan Armstrong. So Armstrong read that perfectly, and he saw Boomer coming out here with the stop route. And Armstrong picks it off, and just like that, it's going to be 1st down and 10, and basically he just moves the chains.
And that's a tough turnover to have now that Uligal 2:54 left, and they're only on their own 44-yard line, or 43, excuse me.
So the defense been standing up pretty strong, even for some unfortunate things that have been happening. And the Mustangs are going to have to call a quick timeout. I don't know what Coach Craig was telling his guys, but he wasn't happy with what they were seeing, or maybe there was only 10 guys on the field, as I was counting only 10 there. And the Cardinals are going to get a little bit of a breather here as they set up to play a little bit of defense before we go into the end of this first half. So far, if you're Coach Jones and the Cardinals, you're talking your defense. What are you telling them? What good, bad, and ugly are you telling them for this first half?
Well, offensively, they've got to figure it out and start moving the ball better, get some better blocks. It looks like Blake's getting hit at the line of scrimmage and having to drag players down. Defensively, they've done a pretty good job, other than that one big play with the Spain, a 49-yard touchdown. Other than that, they've really done a good job.
Base sets up in the, I'm going to call it a power package because there's a little wing back here. Sets back to pass. He's going to go deep. He's draped by everybody, and just like that, a turnover there as Tyler Forrest reads it well, and he picks him up. That guy was triple teamed, so Base really didn't even look as he just let it go for Keenan Ferrier. He keeps trying that deep ball connection there, and that time Forrest was able to secure it. And just like that, another big play. The Cardinals now with just 3 minutes left to go to try and equal this up or take the lead going in the half.
So defense gets the ball back again, and we'll see if the offense can capitalize.
And I believe, yep, it looks like they're going to come back out in their power running set with Robbins and at the fullback set and the tight end. Excuse me, Robbins is going to go to his own tight end set. So 2 tight ends, Robbins and Draper, Bird in the background, and Boomer under center. Motion there by Erickson. Toss sweep, by Bird. And he's going to be tackled as the Mustangs read that quickly. He's going to be tackled for a loss on the play. A loss of 1, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Cardinals with 2.5 minutes left to go in this first half. You always like to see how people are going to come out in the first half. How about the defensive lineman there, number 71, Jonathan Herzl. He's got a little extra flair on his socks. The big guy in the middle said, hey, listen, my mom is going to see me tonight. He's got a little extra yellow there on his socks.
The defensive line for Uligal, though, has done a really good job of getting a good push, and they've been all over the field tonight, hitting Blake right at the line of scrimmage.
Coming out, another good rollout here by Boomer. He's chased hard. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he runs out of bounds. Potential for a little late tackle there, but they're not going to call it. And he's run out of bounds by Dietz again. So I don't know if he lost any yardage on that play. I believe he lost he lost 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 18 for the Cardinals. As that's a costly carry there. I guess you'd call it a carry as Boomer ran out of bounds on his own, he was under duress, but he ran out of bounds on his own. He wasn't tackled out of bounds. So the clock stops now with 1:53 left. It's 3rd down and 18. And if you're Coach Jones, what do you do here?
Well, you got to run. I don't know. This is a tough call. I don't know if you run the ball, just get the time wasted. Oologah still has 1 timeout left, so they can always call that to stop the clock. But the wide receivers really haven't been able to find an opening yet. And timeout Collinsville.
Yeah, Collinsville with its 3rd and final timeout as time was running down on that play, and that's something that you got to think Coach Jones is going to have to work on as the season moves on, is getting the plays in a little quickly, because that seems like that's what the 3 timeouts have been so far in this game, is just because time's running out before the play clock's running down.
Yeah, offensively, a lot of rust out there you see, but I believe we replaced 4 offensive linemen, maybe all 5. I'm not positive on that, but a new quarterback, running back, returned some receivers, but the receivers interchanged a lot last year, so it's the same this year, but just a lot of new parts on the offensive end.
And Bird running hard so far tonight, but it looks like the defensive linemen are kind of caught on to the fact they're not going to block the place ID lineman, and they're just going to let him make a play, make a tackle there on Bird. And Bird's really doing a good job most of the time of cutting back, but occasionally he gets caught in the backfield there. And it looks like they've really rushed upfield real hard, expecting that either to hit the running back or to hit Boomer. So it's like he called it. Bird gets the carry, and Bird's still running, and he's still running. He's driving. He's going to be close to a 1st down, but it looks like he's going to come up just short as he ends up on the 29-yard line. So we're going to have 4th down and 2 here for the Cardinals. And if you're Coach Jones, you roll the dice again deep down in your own territory. 1.5 minutes left to go. Your defense is playing well. It looks like they're at least going to set up like they are.
I wonder if it's the quick punt again.
4th down and 2. And it looks like it's going to be a quick kick again from Boomer. Boomer with the good kick. And the ball rolls all the way down to the Oologah 37, where it'll be down right there with 1 minute and 11 seconds left to go for the Mustangs to try and build on their 3-point score. So right there, the Cardinals throw an interception. They receive an interception, and then they go backwards. So what do you see right there? Is that those just kind of negated plays? I mean, these big plays, big chances, big opportunities that aren't being capitalized on, or is this just kind of working the kinks out of the system?
Well, I know I said this earlier. It's got to be frustrating for the defense. They've done everything they can tonight, and still have not been able to capitalize offensively.
Base in his base set up, throws that quick out again. Good blocks on the outside as that quick out, that goes to James Lay. And they're really finding something that quick out, and it's almost like a screen because the wide receiver there, Keenan Ferrier, he just goes up and he's going to block that corner who's in the flats, and that's his responsibility. So a big gain right there as they pick up, looks like 20 yards there, and they're now in Collinsville territory. Run another quick out, and you can see it from here. Armstrong was looking up the field to see who was coming at him as he heard Tillman coming hard. And that's going to stop the clock with 57 seconds left to go. 2nd down and 10 from the Cardinal 44. So big stop right here if the Cardinals can pull it off, as they will receive coming into the second half. 57 seconds left to go. I imagine you're going to see a lot of passing from base here. Do you think they'll pass it out, or do you think they'll just give it another shot here and then run on 3rd down?
I think they'll pass it out. Unless they don't get a 1st down here, then.
Base throws it into Despain, low there immediately and hits him. But that's going to be enough for a 1st down there as Despain cut in right under. I believe that was Lowe out there, number 2 for the Cardinals. Yes, Brandon Lowe He's able to take him down, but not before Despain, who's a big body, is able to pick up the first down. So now from the 25-yard line, Oologah setting up with 5 wide, and Base looks to capitalize a little bit more. 40 seconds left to go in this first half. He slings it, tackle immediately, just too high for Armstrong. His Base just let it go as soon as he caught it. 41 seconds left to go in the half from the 25-yard line. We're going to set up 2nd and 10. The Cardinal D so far has been pretty stout tonight, letting up one big play, and if they can hold right here, they'll be the story of the first half for the Cardinals. 5 wide, going for the pump and release. A good catch right there for a touchdown by Despain. It looks like they're calling it a touchdown. So, touchdown for Despain, a back shoulder pass. You don't usually see that at the high school level. Really defended well by Chandler Cole, but Despain was able to get his hands on it, spin right in for a touchdown. So right before the half, Oologah with 35 seconds left to go is able to capitalize and build on their lead.
So Despain with 2 touchdowns in the first half, one on a 49-yard touchdown catch and one on a 25-yard touchdown catch. And that was a nice catch.
And the kick is up, and it's good. So it's going to be, with 35 seconds left to go in this first half, it's 17-7. Right now, the big play Oologah Mustangs on top of your Collinsville Cardinals. If you're a coach now, if you're going to the half right here, you're saying, hey, big return and we're going to make it all the way, or are you going to just, hey, make it to halftime, you get the kickoff, you get the second half kickoff, and we need to go talk about some stuff?
Well, I think they'll probably just knee it down. In the past, you've always seen them just knee it down, not just play conservative.
So the Cardinals looking for a big play, which, again, has been the story so far of kickoff return. Only one kickoff return, not going for a sizable chunk so far, as the Mustangs kind of short up Erickson from the outside. And they've got a good kicker here in Ethan Clark, who really can boom. As we've seen, he's picked up that 30-yard field goal there, and he's been really good, except for that one that was a bobbled kick. I don't think he was able to really get a full leg on it. So a good kickoff man and a good field goal kicker. We expect him to kick it pretty far down for Erickson. Pooch kicks it, and that goes into Tillman. Tillman picks it up, looking for some running room, and he's wrapped up at the 35 of the Cardinals. So 31 seconds left to go. We'll see what Coach Jones decides to do here with 65 yards to go before Gloryland.
I know Seth Boomer can make that throw. It just depends on if Coach Jones trusts him.
Well, we've had a few interceptions and another few close calls from both quarterbacks tonight. We'll go over a little bit of that here at the half. The halftime show, don't miss out. We've got both bands going on tonight. The Oologah Mustangs will be on tonight, and we'll catch part of their show, but especially want to catch the Collinsville Cardinals. Low in the backfield now for the Cardinals, and almost a Wildcat offense, and he takes the snap. McKinney there to sniff that one out. It looks like the Cardinals are going to run one more play, going no huddle right now. And they're going to set up to try to get as many plays as they can get here before this first half's over. Lowe hands it off to Hurd, I believe, at the time. 10 seconds left to go in this first half. And Lowe wants to run one more. He's yelling at the coach. He's talking to the coach, and the coach, they're going to try to get this set up and this snap off. Snap just short, not in enough time. And Oologah jumping up and down, their fans on their feet as they go into the halftime up 17-7. Right now you're watching Cardinal TV. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back to recap what you missed in the first half after this.
Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu.
Get on them and follow them because they're going to do that.
Back on it like 5 minutes. Because I think we'll play like 10 minutes.
Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu.
much is that?
Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu. Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu.
And welcome back to Oologah High School, Oologah, Oklahoma, as we start the kickoff everybody's been waiting for ever since the end of last season when they present that gold ball. Every team in the state that didn't get the gold ball and the team that did is all working toward this moment. That's right, it's kickoff night. And the first half, we had some pretty explosive plays from the hometown Oologah Mustangs, specifically Braden Despain, as he was the recipient of a 49-yard touchdown and a 25-yard touchdown right before the end of the half. So two big plays there has the Oologah Mustangs up 17-7. The Collinsville Cardinals showing a little bit with their run game tonight, as they've been pretty run-heavy so far in this first half. Trying to throw it a few times, sometimes connecting, sometimes a little bit off. We've had 2 turnovers by both teams, a bobbled punt, low snap, and a bobbled handoff led to a field goal kick here by the that was the 3 points again of the Mustangs 17. So as we enter in this second half, right now as always it's Randall Dolan. I'm joined by Logan Wilt. Logan, talk to me a little bit about that first half. If you're the Mustangs, you got to be pretty happy. What did they do well, and what do they need to keep doing in the second half?
Well, for Oologah, they did a really good job at capitalizing on big plays, I guess. Had Despain has been the big guy for them offensively. Had 49-yard touchdown catch and then a 25-yard touchdown catch. The run game really hadn't been there for Oologah. You saw one possession that Casey Bass threw 3 times in a row. Collinsville able to shut all 3 of those down, but just after time, the defense has been on the field for a while, and they just start to wear down. But offensively for the Cardinals, their run game is decent, but other than that, there's nothing really there. The offensive line, I would say, has done a decent job. They've had a couple holes for Blake to run through, but for the most part, he's been being hit at the line of scrimmage and then having to drag defenders to fall forward. So if the offensive line could get a better push, because the defensive line for Oologah has done a really good job of getting off the ball fast. You saw Bryce Dietz has been in there. I know Chance Dietz, a linebacker, he's been all over the field tonight. Rush O'Connor, he's been all over the field. So Oologah really doing a good job on team effort on the defensive side of the ball.
So we have Oologah defensively playing well, Collinsville defensively playing well, and so far you'd say this comes down to just 1 or 2 big plays and 1 or 2 big turnovers is the story of the first half. That brought to you by Logan Wilt. So Logan, what are you seeing from the Cardinals? How are they going to get back in this game and not only overcome a 10-point deficit?
Well, defensively, they have to limit big plays. They had the first half, and both were touchdown plays. They've done a really good job at containing those. They've done a really good job at stopping them. It's just the offensive side of the ball hasn't been able to capitalize, and so I'm sure that the defense has gotten really frustrated.
Talk to me about Oologah's pass game. So far, both their scores coming off the pass. You mentioned that. Had some short passes, some passes that should have been picked off, and a few that have been picked off. But if you're Coach Craig, are you just going to tell Bass, listen, just throw it to Despain as many times as you can at this point?
Well, I think they've only looked at him twice, and both catches have been touchdown catches. So, I mean, you think you'd kind of key on him a little bit more.
A big body is Despain at over 6 foot, and he shows it. He plays big. And that last catch he caught behind the back, or it was a back shoulder pass. I don't think it was intended to be, but he made it. Made a great catch. Was able to spin in for the touchdown right before the half. The Cardinals coming out offensively. They should receive this kick right now. What do they have to do offensively coming into this second half? to really set the tone.
It'd be big this first possession to go down, march down the field for a touchdown. That'd be huge and kind of gain confidence on the offensive side of the ball. But they just really have to put a good drive together and kind of show these fans that they do have an offense.
We mentioned Despain so far as one of the players of the game. What are some other players of the game that we mentioned early on, and how do you see them playing? And have they panned out like you thought?
Well, Jimmy McKinney on the defensive side of the ball for Uligal, you haven't really heard him much tonight. Really, Chance Dietz has been the big one. Like I said, Rush O'Connor and Bryce Dietz, both of them have, or all three of them have been, you've heard their name a lot. Offensively, like you said, Despain, he's been the big guy for Uligal. For Collinsville, Blake Bird, he's got the call a lot tonight, but really hasn't had much opportunity to go anywhere with it. And defensively, Levi Draper, and he's always all over the field. Even though we might not call his name, he's always in on the tackles. He had a broken-up pass earlier, so hopefully Collinsville can put together a better half than Uligal, and they're in the whole 10 points.
There you have it from the expert himself, Logan Wilt, as always, the color man of the century. As we start this third quarter, and we're just waiting for the officials to blow the whistle and the chain gang to make it back out. You got some hustle there from the old chain gang on the sidelines. As we start this third quarter, we'll see if the Collinsville Cardinals can remain true to their history of winning in the season opener. Pooch kick here, fair caught by number 23. That's Austin Roberts. And so they're going with the pooch kick is Uligal, and trying to keep that big play from happening, as we've seen kickoff returns really kind of devastate both teams so far tonight.
Yeah, you've seen some kickoff returns, interceptions, fumbles. It's been a really sloppy game so far.
And the offense takes the field for the Cardinals the first time here in this second half. They're going to go with their big package. They got Draper as a tight end. They're running a little power eye. Boomer under center. Robbins in the backfield as the fullback. And Bird will get the carry. He's met immediately in the hole by number 10 for Uligal. That's Gunter Pearson. And, man, that was quite the collision for early on. Bird just lowered his shoulder and ran for 1 yard, it looks like. And that was a hard-earned run, or hard-earned yard, as both those guys stepped up to the plate right there.
And see, that's kind of what I talked about earlier, is he hasn't had much opportunity getting hit right at the line. And he's been having to try and find something to do with it.
Another power set. They're really packing the boxes, the Uligal defense. And another now a power run right off the right side of the center. And some hard sledding again for Bird. And it looks like Bird's going to pick up just another yard. So 3rd down and 8 early here for the Cardinals, as they wanted to come out. And you said you set the tone, and it looks like they set the tone by run. And now they're going to pull their big package out, as Forrest checks back into the game for the Cardinals. And I believe they're going to be in their 4-wide set with Bird in the backfield. Lowe checking into the game now for the Cardinals as well. And trips to go out to the right for the Cardinals, single out to the left, and Bird in the backfield, aside Boomer. 3rd down and 8 here for the Cardinals. Boomer steps back in the shotgun, delivers down the middle of the field. A good catch by number 1, Tyler Forrest. A really good catch, because he was hit as soon as he caught it. That was awful close right there by Rush O'Connor. He seemed to be right there, right on time. And, it looked like it could have been, Rush was looking for the interception, but, man, I think that was awful close to being a little bit of an early bump, but a good catch there by Tyler Forrest, and all of a sudden some momentum for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see. Boomer starting to get some confidence.
Hand off to Bird again. Well, that pass sets that up. Good run there by Bird. That pass right there sets that up, because number 10 for the Uligal, Gunter Pearson, who's been a good player, ran way up the field, and Bird's just able to slip right under him for a gain of 25 yards. And it's going to be 1st and 10 now. The Cardinals marching down the field right now on the Mustangs. Boomer receives it. Bird up the middle, and he's got a good push from his offensive line this time, as you see Mustangs on the ground in Bird's wake, and Bird's able to slog for another 8 yards.
So Bird really, I love watching him play. He's such a powerful runner. He always gets yards after contact. most of his yards tonight have been after contact.
So the Cardinals went with that heavy package the first couple downs, and now they're going spreading them out and really able to run now because the box is a little bit more empty. Back into Bird up the middle, and he's going to run right into his own player, but that's going to that good push from the Cardinal offensive line again is going to result in a first down and some good yards here for Bird. So finding some good running lanes if they go wide. They're going to give Bird a spell here as he's been all over the field so far in the first 3 minutes, of this first half. And Tillman's going to check in the game for the Cardinals. So far the Cardinals, they're back in their power set, power I, Boomer under center, and Robbins in the backfield as fullback. Tillman lowers his shoulder, and he's going to fall forward for a yard.
Uh-oh.
I believe.
It looked like Connor Cross got up a little easy, but he's still in the huddle.
Still giving Bird a spell. It's going to be, they're giving him no yards right there. I thought for sure he made a yard, but it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Sticking in the power set. Robbins in the backfield with Tillman behind him. And 2 wide. Boomer gets it to Tillman. Tillman finding some running room off the right side of the line here. And he's going to do some hard running himself and pick up 3 yards. 3rd down and 7, a big 3rd down here for the Cardinals, who have to make up 10 points here in this second half, but they've done well with a good drive. 4 minutes now into this drive. Good runs, 1 big pass so far from Boomer, and so we've got some good confidence building and a good drive that is going to be defined by this play, really. 3rd down and 7. It's a toss sweep out to Bird. Hard reception from Bird. He's met at the line by a couple players there. McKinney was there. Number 44 for the Mustangs was also there. That's Downham. And now Coach Jones has a decision to make. It looks like it's going to be 4th down and 8. And I believe he's sending in Cole Hadley to see if he can't make up 3 points on the Mustangs. Hadley on for the 3 points.
25-yard field goal here.
From the left hash. Snaps back a little high, but it's down. Kicks up, and it just sneaks inside the crossbar. So it was a good set there by Lowe. Lowe was able to snag it a little bit high, get it down for Hadley in his motion, and that's going to bring the Cardinals to within 1 score of the Mustangs. A good drive there for the Cardinals, Logan.
So finally the offense starting to figure things out, and you see Blake Bird over on the sideline here getting his shoulder rubbed down. I wonder if it was just a stinger.
Yeah, a lot of times when you see them reaching up into there, they're not doing a whole lot. He's kind of feeling around. He just needs to feel that AC joint, see if anything slips a little bit more than it normally does or should. And if you see him start pulling on it and kind of moving his arm a little bit, tugging it down, that's going to be a stinger. It starts because it's got to pull from the top. Now, if you see him start maneuvering it and trying to figure out what's going on, he's just going to take a little bit of time to figure out what's going on. So the Cardinals now with the kickoff, down just 7 points. They came out, have a really good drive, a long drive there for the Cardinals. But now we're on kickoff. Kickoff has been not so great for the Cardinals, whether they've squib kicked, whether they've kicked it deeper, no matter what they've done. So if you're the special teams coach right now, what do you have to say?
Well, you got to make sure your guys stay in their lanes. They got to stick to their assignment. Make sure they don't give it up another 40-yard return, and they have to make sure they keep it away from the Spain, because wherever the Spain is, there's a play happening.
A good line drive kick through Despain's hands, but he touched it. So now that's a live ball right there. And he picks it up. A good kickoff coverage there. Armstrong had to pick it up, and he's only able to make it out to the 22-yard line. So that time, very successful for the Cardinals. A little knuckleball. And we're keeping a quick eye on Bird as the defense goes out for the Cardinals. Bird is he's gonna get some water. Still getting that left shoulder checked on right now. It looks like I wouldn't say a little bit of pain, but the trainer's doing a pretty good evaluation and talking to the coach about what's going on here. And he's kind of giving him giving him the update on Bird. We'll keep an eye on it and see if he's going to be able to make it back into this second half. So potential big blow injury-wise there for the Cardinals. 3 backs here. You got a little triangle set for the Mustangs. And it's going to be a quick pass, but I believe there's a false start. Nope, they're going to say encroachment on the defense.
Are they checking the collarbone here? You think?
He's just moving his shoulder through there and seeing what he can get there. Again, Logan will keep an eye on that for you. The Cardinals now, after a big drive and they need a good stand, give up 5 yards straight off the bat. Probably not used to seeing this little, I don't know, some people call it the triangle offense. Some people call it little diamond shape, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like a pistol with 2 extra backs. So this one's a run now to McKinney. McKinney finds some open room, but he's taken down by Draper. Good run down there by Draper, and if Draper hadn't got him, I don't know who's going to take down McKinney right there. So a first down now for the Mustangs, and they've found something. They tried to throw the first time out of that triangle little offense there. You got McKinney in the backfield. You got number 27, Trent Harris, off to the right, and number 10, Gunter Pearson, off to the left. Steps back to pass, gets it in, tries to get it to Despade. It's going to be a little bit short, and I wonder if Base just couldn't see over that line, because a big standing line there for the Mustangs, and tries to get it into Despain. And again, every time that's going to Despain's way, you got to breathe, hold your breath a little bit if you're the Cardinals.
Yeah, wherever he is, a play's being made. He's done a really good job tonight. One of his catches, top 10, Sports Center.
It looks like Tillman's over here talking to Bird on the bench. Bird hasn't really, he's going to get some ice for his shoulder. The trainer's not looking at him anymore, and he hasn't moved off the bench. I don't think he even has his helmet. So we'll keep you updated on Bird. It doesn't look good right now that he's going to be able to make it back into the game. A quick pass to an open Armstrong there for the Mustangs, and that's going to pick up another first down for Oologah.
And the trainer right now is talking to Coach Jones.
And the fact they're pulling that ice pack out and they're going to give it to Bird, they're going to probably ask him to take his shoulder pads off. His helmet's gone. He's standing up trying to get back in the game. They're going to sneak it in between his shoulder pads, I guess. Usually don't like it to see an ice pack on your starting running back's shoulder there. Or it looks like they're going from the inside, so it could be a collarbone issue, maybe just a preventative thing here. And we'll keep an eye on it. But right now, the defense of the Cardinals going to need to have a stop here. Run to McKinney there out of the backfield, and a good stuff there as needed for the Cardinals. And McKinney's going to be stuffed, a gain of 2 on the play. The Mustangs found success in the diamond backfield, but they abandoned it on that play, and it's just a gain of 2. And I believe with second down and 8, they're going to continue to have a little bit of spread, widespread. They got Despain out to the far left, somebody you need to always watch. McKinney in the backfield, a good tough runner there. And they're going to set twins to both sides. Base and the shotgun prepares to take the snap. Play action. Over the head and a high and hot for James Lay. They've tried that a few times. It's just a little kind of lazy slant is what I'd call it. It's not a direct slant in, but kind of just trying to get right there where the linebacker just voided.
I almost thought Austin Roberts got there a little early.
And those are close, and the officials are keeping a close eye on it. We've had a few of those tonight where they were like, oh, that's awful close. So far, no pass interferences, so the officials letting them play a little bit. So third down and 9, a big play here for the Cardinal defense. As Base takes the snap, it's out to the outside, throws it out wide to Armstrong. Armstrong has been all over the field, makes the reception for the first down. As Lowe was there quickly, but just slipped the tackle, and it's going to be a first down for Oologah. Just barely a first down, mind you. Lowe is trying to prevent him from getting the first down and just missed the tackle, and I think Armstrong just crossed the line now at the 35 of the Cardinals. Base in the backfield. Again, twins to both sides. It's bracketed by McKinney. McKinney's going to get, that's Gunter, number 10, Gunter Pearson. And Pearson's going to get the call. And he's going to pick up 5 yards. So 2nd down and 5 now for the Mustangs as they found a lot of success passing and running the football so far in this second half.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of success. They're marching down the field, and their passing game's really done a good job. That's where they've got most of their yards on this drive.
You're not seeing a lot of reading from base. They've kind of taken that away, and they're just throwing it in. A great one-handed catch by Armstrong. And Armstrong is a name that we have mentioned 1,000 times. Maybe there's so much heat on Despain that they're just throwing it to Armstrong. But I'll tell you, that was an amazing catch. Behind him, it was one-handed, and that's a thing of beauty, just like Despain's catch earlier. That is amazing, especially at the high school level. So another 1st down for the Mustangs as they're answering the Cardinals drive. Base hands it off to Pearson. Pearson stopped right in the backfield, and a good play there by the Cardinal defense. It was much needed. And he set up 2nd down and long for the Mustangs. What you're seeing right now a lot from Coach Craig there of the Mustangs is with a new quarterback. He's just catching and releasing, not a lot of reads. He's not looking at a whole lot. He's just catching and releasing, and a lot of times you'll be susceptible if Collinsville can change up their defense just a little bit, susceptible to an interception, a pretty easy interception if you can just read it right, you know.
Well, yeah, and that's a smart move by Coach Craig, is to not give your quarterback too much power, because you saw earlier he had an interception, and that's when he was making his reads, and now he's kind of taking that away from him, playing more conservative.
Trips out to the right, and that's another reception for Armstrong, so he's got to be pushing about 9 or 10 receptions at this point. He has really been their go-to guy, but I'll tell you, he paid for that one. For those 5 yards he just gained, it was number 23, Austin Roberts, who really let him have it as soon as he caught that ball. So Armstrong being the utility man, the Wes Welker, the Cole Beasley, if you will, of the Mustangs right now and from the slot, and he's really putting the hurt on the Cardinals in this drive. Base with a hard count, and the Cardinals don't succumb to it. Base with another quick inside slant, and it's caught. And a quick tackle by Forrest, but I believe that's going to be another 1st down. So those little slants are really paying off right now for Oologah as they're marching down the field, and all of a sudden they're knocking on the door from the just beyond the 10-yard line of the Cardinals.
Yeah, and you see the Cardinals just laying back a little bit, give him more space, more cushion for the wide receivers, and they're just throwing quick out routes.
Yeah, with those quick passes, your D-line doesn't have a chance to get there. So as the coach, you're going to have to tell them, make your move, put your hands up, at this point. The triangle comes back, and it looks like it's going to be Pearson on the outside. McKinney. And he's going to be slung down on the outside. A good run there by McKinney, and he's wanting something. I don't know. On the play, I think he was wanting a horse collar, but a good run there on the outside by McKinney, who's deceptively fast for a big back. He's able to pick up 7 yards, and right now the defense on their 3-yard line really need to stop him here and really need to get something going.
Yeah, this is a huge down here.
Quick handoff to McKinney. He's hitting the backfield. That's number 44 with a big play. Rock Robbins in the backfield, just eating up McKinney right there, and a great play as that brings up 3rd down, and now a loss of a yard for the Oologah Mustangs, and a minute 36 left to go in this 3rd quarter. The Mustangs up 17-10. It's now 3rd down and 5 because of Rock Robinson really making it back there and making a big play. Logan, what does this down mean right here for the Cardinals?
Well, this would be a huge down. Keep it containable. 1 minute and 20 seconds going into about to be the 4th quarter with 14-point games, a lot to handle with only scoring 10 points in the first 3 quarters.
It's going to be a handoff to, I believe that's Pearson. Nope, that's McKinney, and he makes it in the end zone, but he's hurt. I don't know if he hopped up to celebrate or what, but he is hurt. So Oologah opening up a big lead right now on the Collinsville Cardinals, but a big loss potentially there as McKinney comes up. And he's able to just barely jog off. I don't know if he got a helmet to his kneecap when he dove in or what, but he just got to the sideline and laid down. Clark on, and he makes that up in and good. So now the Cardinals, who've had a little bit of struggle on the offensive side of the ball right now, find themselves in a hole, down by 14 points, 24-10, with 1:05 left to go in the third quarter.
And that's going to be tough. A big hole to climb out of. 14 points with 13 minutes and 5 seconds left after marching the ball down the field, only getting a field goal out of that. That's when it's going to come back to bite you.
Well, and you see that both teams have only had one possession in this quarter so far, and we're down to 1:05 left. So for Collinsville, if they can sustain a good drive and put something in here, they'll be in good shape. But you got to wonder just how many possessions you're going to have left in the game like this if both teams' offenses are able to sustain big drives like that.
Yeah, that possession by our defense wasn't its best, and that took a lot of time off the clock for Uligal, and that's their best friend right now is the clock.
What did you see right there from Uligal that really rattled the defense in a way that they haven't all night long?
Well, they just really changed things up, going from pass to run, doing a great play calling on the offensive side of the ball there. And then when they get down to the goal line, give it to their power back, Jimmy McKinney.
It's an onside kick now. Fair caught. Good heads up play as it's kind of it was a short pooch kick. I don't know if it was an onside kick, short pooch kick, but Holtz Gansel right there with the heads up fair catch. You don't often see that by the guys in the front there if they're not expecting it. But that gives the Cardinals a short field now, and basically no time comes off the clock. Well, really no time actually comes off the clock, and a short field for the Cardinals who really need to find the end zone right now.
Yeah, they really need a good possession here and still with their power set.
And it looks like it is as we kind of expected. Tillman's in the game right now for Bird, and I don't see Bird on the sideline, but Tillman's going to get the carry, and he's going to carry the ball for about 4 yards as we're down under a minute in this first half, or third quarter, excuse me. Bird does have his helmet, and it's on, but he is holding that left shoulder gingerly, and it doesn't look like he's even near the coaches. So I believe Bird's going to call it a night tonight. We'll try and see if we can get an update on what's going on with that shoulder or collarbone, depending on where they put the ice at. In the meantime, the Cardinals will forge on with Tillman. Tillman with another carry right up the middle. And it looks like he's just barely able to pick up 1 yard, maybe 2 to midfield. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5 now as we enter this fourth quarter. I think that the Cardinals are going to allow it to go down all the way into the fourth quarter. Yeah, they're going to just take their time right now, and they're going to reset, and Coach is going to have a chat with them about how we're going to finish off this game.
Yeah, and they've got a big hole to climb out of. 14 points, 12 minutes left. Offense at midfield, it's still doable. You just have to make sure you can't have any turnovers now. It's go time.
So if you're the Cardinals, it's as we talked about all night long, one big play can get you back in this game. You're watching Cardinal TV. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to recap what's going on after this.
Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu.
And welcome back to the fourth quarter. They're getting started quicker than we expected. Collinsville down 14 points, 24-10, and they have the ball just across half field. Tillman with a big run up the middle, and he's finally stopped by number 6, Hunter Gibson. But that's a first down, a crucial first down that the Cardinals need, is they need to sustain this drive and put some points on the board right now, don't they, Logan?
Yeah, this is a huge drive. They've got to take as little time off the clock as they can and get into the end zone as fast as they can. It really hurts them being how well they've run the ball tonight, that they're going to run the ball more tonight, and running takes more time off.
Boomer rolls out, slings it down deep. He's got Erickson. Erickson with the catch. Erickson with the touchdown. So one big play after all those, and Collinsville is right back into this game. You can see the crowd completely on their feet. As we mentioned before the break, it just takes one big play to get back into this game. And just like that, a rollout, a great pass as he was rolling to the left. The right-handed Boomer slings it down for Erickson, and Erickson chases it down, and he's able to make it in the end zone. So just like that, it's a one-possession game again for the Cardinals.
And we know Boomer saw that all game. He tried to get it early in the game, unable to come up with it, but you see, exploits that weakness again.
Hadley up, sets in and good. So with 11:34 left to go in this half, it's 24-17. The Cardinals behind the hometown Oologah Mustangs.
But that's a huge play right there, coming out right out of the fourth quarter, only taking 26 seconds off the clock. You can't ask for anything more than that, being at the 50-yard line.
And now we have the ever nerve-wracking kickoff for the Cardinals right now. So far tonight, they've had two that haven't gone so well, but one that went really, really well. So the Cardinals now all in this game, 24-17. The Cardinals offensively set up by those run, and then they run, and Boomer's able to hide that ball. You see the defensive lineman, who before was right in his face, now is trying to block down, and he doesn't get to Boomer in time. So we've got ourselves an exciting game. 11:34 left to go, and we'll see what the Cardinal defense can do coming off this kickoff. Hadley sets back to kickoff. And I believe he's probably going to knuckle kick this one as hard as he can, is my guess. Hadley kicks it hard and deep. And that's Armstrong again, who's done everything for the Mustangs tonight. A big run down there. That's number 27, Polo Patterson. And boy, he ran that one all the way down, and he was shot out of a cannon. So another big play for the Cardinals, and a big kick from Hadley there. A big booming kick, high and booming, and that makes Armstrong with nothing left to do. And they're going to push him all the way back to the Oologah Mustangs, are going to have to start on their own 18. And the Cardinals fans back in this game, talking back and forth about what's going on. And they're all fired up. One back set back for the Mustangs as they had one guy not quite make it in the game. Now set up, quick pass, quick in to Lay again.
Good tackle by Tyler Forrest there.
Yeah, quick tackle by Tyler Forrest, and you'll see this. I bet they do stop and go route here in a minute, and you got to be careful if you're the defensive backs breaking down and everything. With 11 minutes left to go, though, that's a 5-yard gain for the Mustangs. Despain, who we always watch, split out to the left of base, who's going to take that. He checks his receivers. 4 receivers set again. And Base throws it. It's deflected at the line. That's deflected by number 23, Austin Roberts. So as we mentioned earlier, heads-up play by the blitzing Roberts to get your hands up, make your run, get your hands up if you're not going to make it there. And right there, that puts Oologah at 3rd down and 5. And we'll see what the Mustangs send in.
That was a great play call by the coaches. A corner blitz or linebacker blitz off the right side.
The Mustangs set up. One back set. That's Downham in the backfield. Trips left. Single split out to the right. Long pass for Despain. It's the same one he scored on. And this time he's not able to make it there. He's bracketed by Chandler Cole and Brandon Lowe. So a big stop here by the Cardinals, as it looks like the Mustangs are going to punt, and the Cardinals building momentum with their first stop of the second half.
And everyone getting into it. The fans are starting to get into it more, the student section, and this is really where it's going to start benefiting the Cardinals. more momentum. The offense just coming off a big play, come back on the field, and hopefully can put a good drive together.
And you'll see those drives are keeping set up by the kicks, or by the runs, excuse me. Big booming kick from Despain. It's bobbled and recovered, though. It's recovered by Forrest. Boy, that's a nerve-wracking moment right there, but what a kick from Despain. Good grief. He was back on his own 10, and he kicked it all the way down to the Cardinal 35. So a big, tall, booming kick. Forrest able to jump back on it, and everybody's breathing a little bit better right now as the Cardinals offense take the field on the 36-yard line, on their own 36-yard line. What do you expect coming out right here? You expect more running, or you expect them to try another pass? Because that one pass was there, but it's set up by the run.
Well, it just depends on how they load the box, but they've got to be able to kind of take a breath of relief just knowing that it's not a 14-point hole now, and they can be a little bit more conservative. They're not just being all aggressive.
Quick handoff to Tillman. He's going to go off the right side. Tillman found a big hole. He's just grabbed up by Armstrong. Again, Armstrong playing a monster game right there. He saves the touchdown, and he's slow to get up for the Mustangs. Is Tillman now untouched until Armstrong found him 12 yards down the field. And they cross midfield, and now the Cardinals are knocking at the door with their heavy package. Tillman in the backfield, Robbins as well. And Draper there as the tight end. Goes back out to Tillman. Tillman met hard in the hole. That's another time Gunter Pearson's really met some running backs hard in the hole, and he's playing tough, but he did lose his helmet, so he'll be out this
and
play.
Rock comes out on. I wonder if Rock's just
He's
cramping up. Oh, man.
Yeah, we got a bad calf cramp there. Somebody stretch his calf.
You can see it all the way up here. It looks like a tennis ball's in his calf.
Looks like a coach is going to come and stretch his calf now because everybody else is staring at him.
Man, that's hurting me up here.
So there's your fullback out in your heavy package, and just like that, you call up your next number. That's Josh Arnold stepping up in the backfield, and he's going to get the call to try and set up and extend this play. Tillman gets the rock. He's met in the backfield, but he's able to get, I think he's going to lose 1 yard there. Is Tillman. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals, and they set up a big 3rd down with 9 minutes left to go, down by 7 points here in this game.
And with Rock out, that kind of takes away the heavy package that we usually run, but you have to look to pass here, 3rd and 8.
And they're pulling. They substituted an offensive lineman here. I don't know what the issue is there, but that last play there was a offensive line substitute. So we'll try and get you updated on what's going on there. Boomer finds some open field. He's going to take off, and he's got some jets of his own. He runs out of bounds, and I believe he's going to pick up the 1st down. So good protection there by the Cardinals, and Boomer drops down, and he's going to run for 15 yards of his own. So life from the Cardinals here, and they find themselves on the Mustang 32-yard line. Time should be running right now as well. Oh, he ran out of bounds.
Yeah, but good quarterback awareness there to recognize that and take off running.
It's the first running we've seen from Boomer, and you can see he's got some wheels of his own. Handoff there to Tillman. Tillman right up the middle. Not really a big hole, but he's going to continue to push forward for a solid yard. I'd say just over a yard is Tillman. Maybe 2 yards there, and 2nd down and 8 for the Cardinals. So far, recently, in these last couple drives, the Cardinals have had that 3rd down and 8, that 3rd down and 7, and they've been able to convert. How big are those plays like that right there?
Those are huge. Give you a little bit more momentum, and it's draining on the defensive side of the ball. To have them 3rd and 8 and then get a big gain, they have to hang their heads on that.
Boomer with a quick pass out to Lowe. Lowe makes a move, and Lowe turns the Jets on. So Lowe shucks a really good player in Jimmy McKinney, who just recently verbally committed to Kansas State. So he's a good player, and he was out there fast. And Lowe just made him look childish. And Lowe picks up another 11 yards. So now it's a 1st down and 10 from the 19-yard line for the Cardinals. Tillman in the backfield. Trips left for Boomer. Boomer in the shotgun. Tillman takes the ball, stutter steps in the hole a little bit, trying to find something to go on, and he's met from the outside. And I believe that was number 18 again, Chance Dietz, who ran that one down from way outside. So another good run from him. He's having a really good defensive night, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Cardinals.
So just chipping away at the yardage, and hopefully with this run game, they can find an open hole and Mark can break free because he does have some speed on him.
Yeah, Tillman's been hitting the hole now, and Boomer's going to go under center. Tillman's behind them, trips left, single wide receiver out to the right. And we have a whistle. I believe we have a timeout from Collinsville. So a Collinsville timeout, as this is an important drive, 7:13 left to go in the game. So there is plenty of time left for the Cardinals, but they're really soaking up some time here, down 7, and knocking on the door in the red zone for the Mustangs. So if you're the Cardinals, you call this timeout because it's important, but are you also giving their defense a little chance to take a break, Logan?
Well, yeah, but they were going to take a delay game, which would be 5 yards back, and it being 2nd and 9, 2nd and 13, or excuse me, 2nd and 14 would be a lot more to handle. Your playbook kind of cuts down a little bit on what you're wanting to look at.
Now, interesting scenario here. Let's say that they end up on the 15-yard line of 4th down. If you're Coach Jones, are you kicking here? And then you're gonna end up, it's 4th down and 5, 4th down and 6. That's tough yardage. You're in a pretty good position to where you can get within 4 points with 7.5 minutes left to go. Is that just rely on how good you feel about your defense, or what's your plan here?
Yeah, it's all in the confidence of his defense. The way they've been playing tonight, up until that last drive, that last touchdown drive, they've been doing a really good job.
Boomer in the shotgun with Tillman right there. Boomer's going to keep it. He's going to run outside, and he's going to gain some yards before he's ran down by Gunter Pearson. And I guess Gunter Pearson's going to draw a foul there because I don't know if he horse-collared or if it was unnecessary roughness because he just really threw him down in the out of bounds. And what a mental mistake there from a player who's really played well all night long and was quick there. It's like we have a personal foul, horse collar, so good call there by Logan. And that's going to be, they're in the red zone, so I believe that's half the distance, even though it is a personal foul. So that'll be enough to, it'll be an automatic 1st down.
And that helps a lot.
Oh, excuse me. Let's see if they walk it off. Yep, that'll be automatic 1st down, and I believe that's going to go bring them up to from the 18-yard line. Oh, it's a spot foul as well, excuse me. So it's from the 15-yard line, half the distance, or 12-yard line, half the distance. So that goes to the 6. Do you follow all that?
Yep, I got you.
All right, if you want me to repeat, let me know. So the story you need to know is it's 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. 7 minutes left in this game. Collinsville finds themselves down 7 points. They're down 24-17. The Mustangs up ahead, the hometown Mustangs. Boomer under center now. Hands off to Tillman. Tillman's met in the backfield. That's big number 71, Jonathan Hurtle. Or Hurtel, I don't know exactly what his mama calls him, but either way, that was a big play for that Mustang defense, and that's going to put the Cardinals back to the 7-yard line. So some of these runs that worked really well won't work quite as well down here because there's a lot more people in the box and not as much space to go. And the Cardinals really running a one-back set with their starting running back and their starting fullback, out right now. One with cramps, one with the undisclosed shoulder injury. And Robbins, we see him trying to stretch out, trying to run out, but he had a big cramp in his right calf. Boomer, it looks like it's a designed quarterback keep. And he's just not able to make it too far up the line of scrimmage. I believe he's going to maybe make 1 yard, maybe 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8. I think they're going to say he didn't gain any. So 3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals, down 7 on the 8-yard line. So they really need something to find the end zone right here. And we'll see what Coach Jones dials up for him. Looks like he's going to run the same set they've been running. The single back set with 4 wide receivers. Trips out to the left. Single out to the right. Your tight end's out to the right, Levi Draper. So keep an eye on a jump ball out here. And it looks like they're looking at him. And it's going to be a jump ball out to Draper. Off the fingertips of Draper. Draper had a clear shot at it. and it's just off his fingertips. So a great play call right there, and everybody in the stands on both sides are standing up, and that's a heartbreaker right here. So if you're Coach Jones now with 6 minutes left to go, do you rely on your defense or do you go for it here?
I think you go for it. Even though he has to have confidence in his defense, being on the 8-yard line, I mean, what opportunity are you going to get at this again? Only 3 points. That still gives Oologah the chance. A re-kick to Spain, maybe a big kick return. It just makes sense. And you get if anything, you pin him down at the 8-yard line.
And the play clock's running down. It's now under 10 seconds, and I think Coach Jones realizes this is a play you don't want to mess with. So we took another timeout. Collinsville, took another timeout. And if you're number 4, Drake Barnes right there, Levi Draper just stood right in front of you. You could do nothing about it, and he had a ball. He was going to be the hero, and you were going to be the 0 at that point. Now you're about to cover him again on the outside. What's your thought process?
Lining up against Levi Draper, I don't know what you think about that. He's a big guy. I mean, you just got to try your best. Like you said, he just jumped right in front of him, and there was nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, so a really, really athletic play by Draper, and just unfortunate as I think he just judged a little wrong and jumped a little too soon, but you're talking fingertips now is the difference between a tie ball game. And as we go into 4th down, what do you see Coach Jones dialing up here? I mean, I imagine it's going to be a pass of some sort.
Well, we've kind of saw I know a couple of times a rollout and have the tight end on the side he rolls out on kind of float out that side, but I don't see a tight end here now. You got trips to the left. Levi Draper's lined up to the right, single coverage, so we'll see what happens there.
They switch. They put Armstrong on Draper now, and he's going to press cover him. Boomer's going to have to get rid of it. He lets it go, and it's going to be just short for Lowe. So it's short, and the Mustangs stand. So Boomer with somebody in his face lets it go. It's short for Lowe. Lowe's trying to figure out what happened as he was kind of tackled as he tried to go back for the ball. But either way, the officials saw nothing, and it's going to be Mustang football with 6 minutes left to go in the game. So big play there for the Mustangs, up 7 points. But you still have to sustain a 6-minute drive in order to seal this game, right, Logan?
Yeah, just not enough time for Boomer. He didn't have any time. Right when he snapped that ball, he was dropping back, and they were ready on him. So,
and it looks like the Mustangs, as we expect, are going to come out with a little bit heavier set than they were with a wing set back. And they're trying to draw them off sides early. They're going to look to the sideline. I don't think they'll have a play in. They're just going to call a quick timeout. Either that or they're going to take a delay of game on their sideline. I don't think they got the timeout. No, they did. They got the timeout in time. So the sideline timeout saving both teams right now as they're trying to sort out exactly what they want to do. 1st and 10 now from their own 8-yard line. And just looking to kill clock as the Oologah Mustangs as they find themselves up 7 points in this game.
Yeah, the defense really, they have to do a good job. But if they do send on a blitz, they have to get back to the quarterback. The defensive line has to do a good job at getting off the ball and getting pressure back to base, because when they get pressure on him, he's a little flustered. But when they let him sit back there, he has time to. Despain's going to get open. It just depends on how good of a throw base can get to him. So if they can get pressure on him, then that limits Despain's chances.
Well, and with base generally stepping back and launching and stepping back and launching and stepping back and launching, you got a tough job there for your D line. You got to wonder, they're going to probably run as much as they can out of this. And the first one is a big run and a good tackle. That's number 43. Wow, what a great tackle. Josh Arnold right there. He has to size up big Hunter Gibson in the hole, and he wraps him up pretty quick. And it looks like one player slow to get up for the Mustangs. You hate to see that, but especially if you're the Mustangs, as it stops the clock in the game. And it's, I believe, number 52. Now he has to step off the sideline. So I don't know.
No, it's not him. There's another player
Oh,
down.
is there?
I think it's just cramping.
Yeah, it looks like they're stretching his calf here. Is that number 6?
Yeah, that's number 6.
Yeah, that's the runner right there, Hunter Gibson. And it may have been the way that he tackled him. But right now, kind of silence on the field, but they're going to stretch him out. And that's the starting running back. And if you're looking to take some time off the clock, you definitely don't want some of your starters going down. As you've seen on both sides, the starting running back for both teams now limping or with a shoulder injury. Fullback's now limping, but he's up and he jogs off the field. Hopefully a good sign for the young man from Oologah, Hunter Gibson. I believe they're going with the power back again now, Jimmy McKinney, and they're going to let him see if he can't pound some yards out of this Collinsville defense. 2nd down and 8 now. And the clock's running now for the game clock, excuse me, now picks up and runs again. Base in the shotgun. Takes a snap, gets it out to McKinney. McKinney with the cutback, and he's running hard for some extra yards, and it looks like he's going to pick up 5 or 6 extra yards.
And we got some more cramping. Austin Roberts is going to come over the sideline cramping.
And that's what happens. Some of these guys are not used to this. They're playing that entire game, so that's going to result in a Mustang first down. So if you're the Cardinals, you can give up a few more first downs, but you really got to do your best not to let up any big plays and kind of shore it up here.
Yeah, those inside runs, you can't be getting 8 yards out of those.
Well, and we mentioned earlier, McKinney now is verbally committed to Kansas State as a senior. So he's a big, tough guy, a tough back to take down. And it looks like they may just try and ride that horse all the way home between him or Despain. And base in the shotgun. It's going to go back to McKinney. McKinney bounces outside, and he's going to throw off tacklers, and he's going to get another 7 or 8 yards on the carry off the right side. Big number 70 for the Cardinals. It looks like Joey Krupinski comes up limping a little bit, but he's going to stay in the game, stretch out a little bit of a cramp there. So under 5 minutes now in this game, and McKinney carries it for 7 yards. So 2nd down and 3, the ball on their own 25, and you got to see if the Cardinals have an answer for McKinney. Oh, McKinney actually, he goes to the sideline right here, and it's going to be number 10, Gunter Pearson. Base in the shotgun. Gets it into Pearson. Pearson, who's met by Robbins, who's back in the game, but I don't know if he's able to pick up enough yards for the first down or not.
If not, it'll be 3rd and
It is.
short.
It's going to be 3rd down and about 2 yards now the Mustangs are staring at. And if there was ever the first really big play of this game right now is settled by by how this 3rd down and 2 is going to set up. Despain sets out to the left of base. Base in the shotgun. They've got McKinney back in the backfield. No, excuse me, that's Gunter Pearson in the backfield with a wing tee there. And they're running a big package. So they get it to Pearson. Pearson almost wrapped up in the backfield by Robbins, but he just slips through. And that's going to be enough for the first down, and his helmet pops off one more time. Pearson looking for his helmet as he has to take a jog out the field. A good move there by Pearson. Just escapes the grasp of Robbins in the backfield. And now we're ticking down to 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. The Cardinals find themselves down 7 and need a defensive stop. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Collinsville still with 2 timeouts left, but they really need to get a stop here.
Big McKinney back. Oh, excuse me. That's Clayton Downham now in the backfield for the Mustangs. They're just rotating fullbacks or running backs, excuse me. And Downham finds wide open field, and it looks like he's gonna go, and he makes it all the way down the field for a touchdown. So a knife in the heart of the Collinsville comeback has a big gash out of nowhere. Downham came out of the middle of the pile, and he's able to run for 65 yards. And a touchdown. Another big play hurting the Cardinals now as they're down 30-17 with an extra point to go.
And that really might be the dagger there. It's going to be a tough one to come back from that.
We'll see if Ethan Clark can capitalize and make it 31-17. Ethan Clark is off the post, and it's no good. So a little light now. It's now 13-point game, or 13-point deficit for the Cardinals with 3 minutes left to go, and it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a passing game for the Cardinals right now. So we mentioned as they're going into that drive, yeah, you don't need to let up, little plays, but also, I mean, you hate to see them go for 3 yards a time, and get that first down, but you also can't allow that big play to really gash you right there.
Yeah, if you just look out on the sideline of the Collinsville Cardinals, it's just kind of like they almost have the look of defeat on them already, just hanging their heads, not really much energy on the sideline.
All it's going to take right now, just like before, is that one big play, just like Oologah just had, to get them right back in this game. So the Cardinals, this kickoff return's been up and down all night for both teams. We're going to see if Ethan Clark, if I'm the coach, I'm half tempted to just squib it as best you can, because they did this little onside kick now, and it gave us a short field. We're able to drive down and score, and then they gave us a long kick, and we're able to run halfway down the field. So a lot of risk here, but they've got a big leg in Ethan Clark who can really boom it down, and we've seen Erickson take a few of those already. Clark sets up. Looks like he's going to kick it short. That's going to go to Tillman. Tillman, he's going to be hit about the 34-yard line, falls down to the 35-yard line, and we're going to see what Boomer's got as far as a cannon. So we'll see if Boomer's got a cannon as we go to just under 3 minutes left, or right at 3 minutes left in this game. The Cardinals down 13, 30-17, and we'll see if they can answer real quick here at Oologah.
If they're going to answer, they have to answer quick because there's not much time left.
And you can't help but wonder with the different injuries to different players, like Robbins, he played that defensive set, but he limped off with still lagging that calf cramp injury a little bit for Rock Robbins. And then Bird hasn't been seen since really the first drive of the third quarter. And he's got some type of injury, and we haven't really seen him. He's just been standing on the sidelines. He's got his helmet on, supporting the team as best he can, but he's got to do it from the sidelines. Big throw out to Erickson. Erickson tries to cut back inside, but he's wrapped up. Gain of 5 there. Wrapped up, tackled well there by James Lay. The clock will continue to run unless these Cardinals can get out of bounds. And we've got some other Cardinals limping due to cramp issues. Looks like Erickson's going to come out, and Fanning's going to come back in for the Cardinals. If you're Coach Jones, you have to tell your guys to hurry up. I mean, you got to be hustling, no huddle, right?
Yeah, they've got to do a better job of getting the plays in faster and getting them called in and executed.
Boomer rolls out. He gets really, I don't know how that wasn't pass interference. Number 6, Hunter Gibson really hit the receiver for the Cardinals there, and I believe the officials called it because he hit him well before the ball got there. So a good call there by the official. We have our first pass interference of the game, and that's going to gift the Cardinals not only a stop of the clock, so if they can hurry up and get on the ball, they're not going to take any time off this clock, but they're actually going to take an extra 15 yards here, and they're going to cross midfield. And so we've got a short field now for the Cardinals as Boomer tries to sling it in there, and Gibson getting a little bit excited, hits him a little bit quick. Boomer from the shotgun. Tillman sets back and waiting on the whistle from the official before he can snap. Boomer sets back. Let's go across the middle, right through the hands of number 1, Tyler Forrest, and he's going to want that back as well. I mean, it was a little behind him. Boomer hit as he throws, but right through the hands of Forrest. Forrest, it would have to have been a tough catch, but we've seen some amazing catches out here tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, they've had Despain with one and
Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong.
Logan Armstrong, who's got 10 catches on the night, I bet, and about 6 tackles. The kid, he has been everywhere tonight for the Mustangs. So looks like the officials are stopping the clock to try and figure something out here. It may be a timeout from the Cardinals, but I don't know why they would have called a timeout because the clock was stopped anyway. So I guess the Cardinals did use their final timeout of the game right here.
No, I don't think so. They wouldn't send him back out there so
trying
quickly.
to figure out what. Now the Oologah Coach Craig's on the field. He's trying to sort out what's going on. And I don't know if the Cardinals use their final timeout or not. But they're resetting the play clock, so it looks like the Cardinals will keep their final timeout. Okay, so it's just the coach asking for a little clarification on what's going on here. And seems like everything's set up. And we're starting with 2:13 left to go in this game. Boomer looking to throw it deep. It's a little antsy. He rolls out on his own. He tries to sling it into number 33, Hayden West. And Boomer's going to have to watch out as it looked like he was well past the line of scrimmage right there. He's going to have to watch for his line of scrimmages when he throws that. So 3rd down and 10, a big 3rd down for the Cardinals, as they're really going to have to start marching it down the field. And Boomer had a little pocket, but after a couple seconds, you kind of get a little bit itchy, don't you, as a quarterback who's been chased all night?
Yeah, like you said, he's been chased all night. Really hasn't had much time to sit in the pocket, and that's what he's best at, is being a pocket passer. And when he gets out on the run, he's still a good passer, but it's harder to make those throws accurately.
4 wides again for the Cardinals. Tillman still in the backfield as Boomer takes the pass from the shotgun. Boomer's got all day now. He throws it up deep for Erickson. Erickson with the simultaneous catch. Did he come down with it, though? Touchdown, Erickson. So they're saying Erickson caught the ball, and he scored a touchdown. So just like that, 1:56 left to go in this game. The Cardinals answer. Now they're within 7. It's 23-30. And if you're the Oologah Mustangs, you got to wonder, how in the world does that happen?
What a beautiful throw by Seth Boomer there, right on the money. And that's the second time he's got it to Brett Erickson. And he had one that was dropped, so that combo is going to be really handy this season.
Well, and then Erickson as well, good way to pull that down. It looked like it was going to be a simultaneous catch there. Bobbled for a little bit, but Erickson pops up with it, and he gets the score. Hadley on for the extra point, and that's in and good. And so 1:56 left. If you left the park, you're missing out on a golden opportunity as Boomer has a second. Good pass protection by the offensive line. And the Cardinals have some life, 30-24. We're going to play every second of this game.
And now, the onside kick. Let's see how good he can execute this.
Well, Cole Hadley was a staple in the soccer team this past year as a freshman. So he's got some skills with his feet, but he's used to kicking a soccer ball. We'll see how he handles the football, and we'll also see what Coach Jones decided to do. Is it going to be an onside kick? Is he going to try and pooch it? What's kind of his idea? Now, here's the deal. If he kicks it up, if he pooches it up, and they call it a fair catch, you have to let them try and catch the ball. But if they do not call a fair catch, it's anyone's game. So that's kind of the schematics right here. It looks like the Mustangs are really cramming, and the rules now state you have to have a certain amount of players on each side of the ball, I believe, in high school. So 27 right there, he needs to be set up on the ball, and then you can have 5 players off to the right and then 5 players off to the left. I believe that's the high school rule. So Hadley's going to set up, and just like that, we're having our first onside kick of the season. And Hadley gets the all go, checks for his guys, double checks, and he approaches the ball. Kicks one up. It's got to go at least 10 yards. If it doesn't go 10 yards, you can't recover it. So it's going to be a penalty now. It's not recovered here.
They only got 1 timeout, so saying if they can get some stops.
1 stop and 1 good timeout, and there's still time on the clock. So unfortunately, Hadley's kick, it's covered well, but it didn't quite make it the 10 yards. It looks like it only made it 6. So that's one of the keys. When he recovers that, it doesn't do anything for the clock. His best bet is to just let it go and do the best he can. The only thing that they could do worse is it going out of bounds, but they're not going to take a re-kick there. So either way, they're going to take it from this spot anyway. And it looks like they're running a big, heavy package right now. Is the Mustangs, and they're going to try to get it into big Clayton Downham, who's ran a ton tonight, and he had that big play for a big gain. Downham goes down, and the clock's going to run. Unless Coach Jones taking a while to get his timeout in, so you lose an extra 3 seconds there due to the Cardinals, but that's the last timeout for the Collinsville Cardinals. So do a little math for me. 25-second play clock, okay? They're going to run at least 4 seconds of play. It takes another 4 or 5 seconds to reset the play clock. You got 1:47 left to go. If it's 4 seconds of play, they don't get any first downs. How much time you got left?
Well,
Logan's in high school. We're going to do some math.
It'll be 16 seconds just for the the play clock to get started and for the play to happen, and that's in 2 plays. And then there's a 25-second play clock, so that's 50 seconds, so about 66 seconds. So that's
right
about
now we're running
one
a minute 47, so you're looking at about
a-
25 seconds left if they can stop them.
Yeah.
And they'd have to also stop them on 4th down, mind you.
But on 4th down, I can see them trying to pin it deep, just depending on how close they are. They wouldn't want to give them field position like here.
But first things first, you got to stop Clayton Downham, who they didn't last possession. He was able to get 66 yards. Also, you want to watch Braden Despain. Downham cuts it back. He's met in the hole there. Another big tackle there by Josh Arnold. He's able to get him down, and the clock will run. So 2nd down, once the ball gets set, they need to reset the play clock. Ball's set now. 10 seconds had come off the clock. Should have reset the play clock already, but I believe they didn't, and they didn't start it. So just now the play clock started, so this play is going to take them under a minute. And if they're smart, they're going to take every bit of this. They got 2 timeouts. They may as well take every bit of it, call a timeout, or take every bit of it and keep running the play. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. 3rd down and 5. If they can pick up this 1st down, it's over. If they can't, it's no good. Met in the backfield is Dunham. So we're just under 50 seconds left. It's going to be 4th down now and 8 yards.
So now they're going to take it down. Once the play clock starts, if it ever starts, they're going to take it down to however long they can, call a timeout.
Ball set now. They're going to take their time. Play clock should be started. They blew the whistle. Play clock starts on time. It looks like the differential's about 10 to 11 seconds here.
So now Forrest has to be smart. If he doesn't have much room, he just needs to get down if he doesn't fair catch this.
If you're the Mustangs right now, you just let it roll all the way down and you call your timeout and you reset.
That's what I
Either that or you can take your delay of game. Either way, it's not going to hurt you in this scenario. So they called their timeout. Oologah. So 13.2 seconds left to go. It's going to be 4th down and 6. The Cardinals now, they can't take any more than a couple seconds on this kick return and then have one play.
And now if the punter can do it, sky kick this, because once the ball's snapped, it's going to take a while. So if he gets extra hang time on that, then that's going to
really practically, if you're the Cardinals, you're looking at one big play. And it may be this punt return, if depending on what Coach Jones wants to do here, because this punt may go all the way in the end zone by how Despain boomed that last one.
Yeah, it just depends on if he can get some hang time on it, then it'll take the clock down to 7, 8 seconds.
And Despain has had some, I bet he tries to kick it real high, and it doesn't matter how short. All he needs to do is kick this as high and hard as he can, and we need...
Or who knows, maybe they try and take off running with it and run as much... With Despain back there, you never know.
But he's not going to take 13 seconds off the clock. High snap. Despain just able to get it off, and he's going to kick it out of bounds, I think. Oh, no, it falls back, and it's quickly recovered by number 31, so hardly any time off the clock. 6.6 seconds left. Rush O'Connor downs it. We're at the 35-yard line of the Collinsville Cardinals. So 6.6 seconds left. You've got one big play or one maybe quick out, and then one big play if you're the Cardinals here. If you're going to run this out play, though, it needs to be incomplete or it needs to be out of bounds right now because you got no timeouts left. So if you're the Cardinals with no timeouts, I say you take it deep.
Or you start lateraling it. Whoever you can find, just pitch it back to them. You got to do.
They won't lateral that much. This is it, folks. For all the money, this could be the last play of this well-fought game between the Collinsville Cardinals and the Oologah Mustangs. Collinsville coming out. And they're saying it looks like the Mustangs aren't even going to rush. They're just going to put some people down there and do the best they can. Boomer launches as far as he can. It looks like it's going to go and fall helplessly to the ground as Erickson tries to run it down. And just like that, Oologah charges the field, and they're excited as they start off 1-0, and your Collinsville Cardinals start off with a tough loss. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll recap what you saw in that game. You're watching Cardinal TV.
Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's flight program is designed to get you flying in your first week. You can spend less time in lectures and more time practicing what you've learned, so you could be certified in only 12 months. Also, our degree graduates are able to go for their ATP certification with reduced flight hours. Train for a career as a cargo, corporate, or airline pilot. For more information on starting an exciting new career, go to spartan.edu.
And welcome back to Oologah High School and Collinsville Cardinals going down tonight 30-24. As you mentioned, a lot of pressure on the Cardinals tonight. They'd have to show a whole lot. What happened tonight that really helped the Mustangs tonight? As you look at it, Logan, you see that 3 of their touchdowns came on just big plays that seemed to set the Cardinals back. They couldn't quite recover from.
Yeah, right out of the get-go, that Despain returns it to the 10-yard line. Even though they didn't score out of that, it's still a big, it kind of sends a note to the other teams, kind of shows them they're here to play. Collinsville really came out really rusty to start off, and they kind of dug a hole for themselves. Defensively, played as good as they could, other than those big plays, like you said, 3 big plays. But offensively, they have to do a better job they have to score 24 points. Is
a lot
decent,
of that
but
coming
they
at
had,
the end.
they
7
had,
points in the first half, things like that.
Yeah, and they had a lot of opportunities. The defense did, they had they had a fumble recovery, interception. Defense did as good as they could, but offensively, they've got to find their forte, I guess. Running the ball did really well. Blake Bird gets hurt and then kind of falls downhill. But with a new formation, or not formation, but new kind of like play calling, it's a little different.
And you see the Cardinals there in the fourth quarter. They had an opportunity. They're in the red zone. They're not able to convert for the touchdown. So just a few plays here or there that go the Cardinals' way, and some ridiculous catches by Despain and Armstrong tonight. And that's the difference in the game. 3 big plays allowed for 21 of the 30 points, and then just missing one in the red zone is the Cardinal offense. So we hope to meet you. You've been watching Cardinal TV. We'll be on next week. I'm taking a 2-week hiatus. Logan's going to be there to carry the team as always, as he did this week as well. We're going to be at Catoosa. That starts at 7 o'clock, 7:30, I believe. At Catoosa next weekend, next Friday night. And Logan's going to be there to carry. You got anything special to tell the folks tonight, Logan?
If you can, go out and support the Catoosa game next week. But if not, we'll be bringing it to you live.
All right, you guys have been watching Cardinal TV tonight. Thanks very much.